Hello, hello, we're here. Let me hop into a battle real quick. Whoa, whoa. Classic Twitch. Okay, let me hop into one. I missed Nardu's. No, Nardu's is there, but it's no spectator slot on Nardu's. The heck? That works. Alright, let me post channels and whatnot in Discords. What's my YouTube again? Okay. Hey, Alex. How's it going? Good to have you here again. Gonna do this. All good to go. Post this in this Discord as well. Hold on. Okay. Discord, minimize. Go. Okay. Built a blocker. Alright, we're good to go. Things are going alright. Not too bad. I'm pretty tired today, but we'll make it through. We'll make it through. What about you? Archmage of High. Wow, I could not think of words there. They brought the high lore today. We got Apotheosis and Hand of Glory. It's interesting. I'm guessing Hand of Glory just for, you know, your talents of Torquelada, your sisters, etc. They do it does pretty good. It's a nice buff there for the archer units. But yeah, some more archers. You have a standard unit of Sisters of Avalon. We also have Phoenix Guard, freaking triple Phoenix Guard, including the Keepers of the Flame. Hell yes. Love to see it. I think the Keepers of the Flame are so freaking cool. I mean, just, like, design-wise, for elves, pretty sweet. I mean, maybe this color scheme doesn't fit them that great, but otherwise, pretty cool. We also have the Talons of Torquelada. They do have that flammable, so it gives the enemy weakness to fire damage, which is pretty nice. And I do love their color scheme as well, no matter typically what the actual army color scheme is. I love their color scheme a lot. I don't know if it actually changes. I'm assuming it does. But yeah, some more Silver and Guard, and just a very interesting, very expensive, thin build. We also have, excuse me, Fireborn, Dragon Prince ROR, of course, anti-large, flaming attacks, wonderful. We also have the Pure Main Company, White Lions of Chase, Grace, ROR, also great. But a whole bunch of RORs today for the High Elves. Vampire Coast side, we do have a Vampire Fleet Admiral with Spirit Leech and Fate of Buna. Of course, Black Parapet as well for that power recharge and reserves. For the rest of the army, whole bunch of deckhand mobs and depth guard, plus some pole arms. We also have some regular handgun gunnery mobs. I don't know, these are the pistol versions. always get them mixed up sometimes. We do have the handgunners here, though, one including the black spot. They do have anti-large to protect themselves in melee and have just better stats overall. Plus charge reflection and charge defense versus large. We have double mortar, which is going to be pretty, always pretty effective into the high elves. Typically, you're having them focus on the cheap archers that the high elves bring, and once you shut down the archers of the high elves, then pretty much they're going to have no contest against your guns and your crabs. We also have the Night Terrors, Mongol ROR. Second time I've seen them, or third time probably I've seen them in the new player tournaments. Hopefully they do decent here. They do have that chilling aura for that to help chase down any units. And the Hayseed here is playing it smart, putting their Fireborn right underneath the hill so they can't be targeted by any guns. And just making it so right now, because of the hill, they're not able to see them. So now the Vampire Coast player sees them and goes, oh crap, there's freaking Fireborn here. What the heck am I supposed to do about that? But, and vice versa, the Vampire Coast player has the Night Terrors who have stock. But right now, the High Elf player has no idea what's going on. But yeah, as you can see, Talons of Torquelada and regular Sister of Avalon taking a good chunks of damage from the mortars. And yeah, ouch. Oh my, that was a nasty shot there, really brutal shot. But in return, they're doing some pretty good damage to the depth guard and the mortars themselves. What it shows is that will the Talons of Torquelada outlast the mortars? Will the next mortar shot do enough damage to rout them off? Because they're wavering it, and there they go, they rout. So that's tough. They're gonna need to come back. They have 54 models still, so they can deal with the hill and still be able to put out some decent work. The Swordmasters are I didn't even notice Swordmasters are absolutely blitzing through the depth guard. Oh my, look at that. That's exactly what they want to be facing. Jeez, absolutely nuking those guys. But in return, over here, the Vice for Fireborn, they try to get into the cookie jar, but are easily screened out by both the black spot and the pole arms, and they've taken quite a bit of damage, getting a few models stuck there, which is quite unfortunate. Keepers of the Flame are taking damage from just regular old gunnery mobs and just cheap zombie chaff, which is pretty unfortunate, as they're fairly expensive. These archers get run down by the Night Terrors, Mongol ROR. That's exactly what they want to be doing, is just getting into that back line and getting on that relatively lightly armored. I mean, even if they weren't lightly armored, they have pretty good AP values, is the thing. So the reason I say lightly armored is because they'll take a lot more damage much faster on that initial charge. So it's just much easier for them. But generally, like more squishier units, not necessarily light armor, but squishier. Lower health pools, not that great in melee. But obviously, Talons of Torquelada are better in melee. Or actually, I think, yeah, they have their decent melee stats right now. This is Avalon having 51 melee defense. But Jesus, I mean, look, freaking Swordmasters, they did a lot of damage, but now they're getting Last Samurai, just being shot from all angles by the handgunners and pistoliers. Doing some absolutely beautiful work. Same with the Keeper, same with the Phoenix Guard. Those High Elves, they may have put thousands of years into their martial practice, but will that save them from pistol shots in the back? No. Those pistol shots will be going straight into the back of their necks and their heads. They're dead. Mongols being... They did push a little too far and have been punished for that exact... well done by Hayseed. I'm struggling for words. But yes, the Fireborn do push off the Night Terrors and might end up pushing them into crumbling, and there we go. I'm surprised it took them so long to go into crumbling status, but now they should be going soon and disintegrating and gone, completely finished off. The Archmage being Spirit Leeched to death at the moment. Sisters of Avalon are still up despite what the Night Terrors are doing in that back line. They're still up and going to be able to shoot. Archmage wavering now, might be routing here soon. We'll see if they take any more damage. Mortars are back up and shooting, or at least the one, but now it is back under fire again by the sisters. What are the archers shooting at right now? They're just shooting to the backs of the pole arms. We also have the Talons of Torquelada up again shooting as well. Pure Main Company relatively healthy. Fireborn could do with another hill. They still have 48 models, but otherwise, like, if they had lost more than that, I would say Would be worth it, but 48 models is a pretty good chunk of DPS left. Vampire Fleet Admiral just disrupting the back line. This is one of the tactics that you should definitely be utilizing when an opponent has a lot of range units. Just disrupting them, or just they have valuable range units that you disrupt them with a single entity, so they can't fire unless they are on guard mode and being forced to target a unit by right-click spamming. Typically, the player might notice that their archer unit isn't firing, and that could change the tide of battle, and your SC won't be taking much damage. On the other hand, Archmage does have a nasty miscast there, and is down to 83 HP, and is going to be routing off. Don't think she'll be coming back. I say that, and I mean, she might. She's down to -5. There's plenty of time for her to come back. But yeah, 83 HP, who knows? Even if she does come back, she might just shatter immediately. Fireborn Archers being... Oh, and there she goes. Yeah, she Spirit Leech to death, and that's gone. The High Elf leadership is going to take quite a bit of a hit there. That's, I think, a -16. Yeah, I was going to say 18. -16. And there's not going to be any more healing or spells being casted in general. So it's going to be pretty... That could be pretty tough there. But, to be fair, on the other hand, Vampire Coast, they don't have much left. We got a single unit of polearms. That's the most healthy unit they have. Black Spot are tattered and beaten. 35 models left and being finished off by the Fireborn. We have some more polearms here. And we do have the Vampire Fleet Admiral. No crab summons because they brought the death. They brought the Lord of Death. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't really think they will be able to clutch it out. And they will be going to the High Elves despite their caster being shut out here. I mean, what can they do about the Swordmasters? Here come the Swordmasters just to finish off those polearms. I mean, yeah, they're fairly beaten. They only have 800 HP, but still. That's how you tell how dire the situation. Even the Swordmasters are coming back. And the Fireborn are going to finish off these polearms, most likely get a nasty rear charge. We have a Fate of Buno, most likely. Or a Spirit Leech coming in. And that'll seal the deal there for the Vampire Coast. I'll be going to the High Elves. Big Zypher. Luck, Ghoul, hey Michael. I don't know if you want me to call you Michael or Ghoul on here. But well played by both players. Let's see. So we have 550 here on the Pure Main Company. 1184, 264, 1810 on the Phoenix Guard. It's a pretty good value there. 440. 1511 on the Sisters. Just they were pretty crucial in shutting down not only the depth guard but the range components of the Vampire Coast plus the mortars. So yeah, for our Fireborn, they took a pretty nasty engagement early on, but they still managed to come back. Pulling those guys out in the opportune time, not letting them get surrounded, was pretty crucial there for Hayseed. Because if those Fireborn got shut down, then what would the High Elves have had to stop the Mongols from wreaking havoc in their back line while the Phoenix Guard were tied down by infantry? Sure, they could have theoretically turned their other archery units around to shoot at the Mongols, but they have one missile resist. I think it's either missile resist or phys res. Neither way, while they're shooting at the Mongols, which will take a while to kill them, they're going to be shot by mortars. So, you know, Fireborn are pretty crucial there. Empire Fleet Admiral did solid work, 2048. Everything else, 489, 226, 1459, and 656. Yeah, I mean, you can see the mortars there. They didn't get a lot of value, and that's the issue with the mortars in general, is they're fairly inaccurate, but once they do hit, they can do some solid work into lightly armored and range units, or just lightly armored units in general. But the thing is, like, you're not only just bringing it, even if they don't hit a lot and they're kind of unreliable, you're bringing them just to pressure the High Elves to have to push you. Because if you didn't have those mortars, then you have to push them. You can obviously bring carronades as well, but that's not as effective. They don't have like that explosive damage that's better at dealing that's better against infantry units. They're more for shooting at single entities and monstrous infantry. That doesn't mean they can't do decent damage into them. It's just that they're better suited at other roles. Yeah, you need those mortars to pressure, and I think I think the handgunners. I'm not sure I'd bring the handgunners. The Mongols. I think you just gotta be more careful with them if you're gonna bring them. I like that they're stock. I like that they have the chilling aura, but once you get into that initial charge there with the high elf range units, either bring them out after they completely rout a unit, or like bring them back into your back line so they don't get they get charged by fireborn. Those fireborn could be shot and your Mongols could be supported. But otherwise, I think everything else is fine. Probably just take a handgunner out and keep the black spot. Black spot are okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think even there's the what's the coast gunnery mob? The gunnery sergeant, gunnery something. He has scab scrape on him, which is pretty BS that he has scab scrape, but he has scab scrape on him, and that could do pretty decent at clearing out archer units and stuff like that. With the little mini fire breath weapon or spread that it does. GG Hayseed. Good job. Alright, let me hop into another one. Obviously, it's the it's still first round, I believe, but otherwise. Alright, we do have a replay from Nardu, so let me save that real quick. Two more as well, one from Hot Fiery Potato and one from Random Cuban. Alright. Alright, otherwise I think that's all the replay so far. Okay. Alright. Up into this one. For the next round. That's not the right password. What's wrong with you? Who doesn't use 123? Oops, I meant to do spec. Silly goose. Hardy says he hates Zinch as usual. Who's playing Zinch? Let me see. Round 2 is live. Nice. But let me see. Who's playing Zinch? We have Beastmen, High Elves, Skaven, Dwarves, Bretonia. B6A6S is playing Zinch. All right. So, Grand Cathay, who are they up against? Hotfire Potato. Are they on Bretonia? The Empire. That's what you get for not playing Lizardmen, Nardia. You're up against the Dwarves now after fighting Zinch. I feel so bad for Nardu, actually. Those are two terrible factions I have to go against. Just not fun. What did they? Let me see. I know there's some War Empire limits right now. I don't know if they got changed in the fruit rules. If they did. Don't worry, Nardu. I got you. I'll coach you. All right. Empire versus the Beastmen. It's another replay there to watch after. All right, just waiting for both players. I think they should be good to go. They were waiting for me. I guess they were under the impression that I needed to do something, or Oh yeah, I was trying to look at the fruit rules for the Empire right now. All right, for the Empire, obviously the landship is banned. There's the limit right now on steam tanks to 1. That includes the mount for the master engineer. So theoretically, definitely possible for the Grand Cathay player to win here. Not to say steam tanks are the only reason that the Empire are good right now, but they are a pretty big reason. All right, let's get right into it. So, for the Grand Cathayan side, we do have a dragon-blooded Shugen Lord. She's on a mount. Yes, she is. She's on a horse with Blossom Wind, Ancestral Warriors, and Talons of the Night. Will of the Dragons as well does give that +4 leadership for any allies near range. For the rest of the army, a whole bunch of peasants with Jade Warriors, some with halberds, some just base variant. We also have some Jade Lancers on the right-hand side. So, is that double Grand Cannon? Double Grand Cannon with Crane Gunners and some Longbow Riders, but these are not just any Longbow Riders. These are the Righteous Lances of Wei-Jin, so they do have primarily AP damage, and they do have Guardian as well. I don't remember if the base version has ITP. I don't think they do, so they also get ITP, which is pretty insane. But typically you don't see quite long ones in general, especially the Righteous Lances. I think it's just because a random number of reasons, like not random, but a number of reasons, including the fact of their price, how little mass some of their actual models have. So like they get stuck a lot very easily. Plus, they don't have a whole lot of HP, 6,000. So, but they do have bronze shells, so it helps mitigate some missile fire. Only 30%, however. Yeah, they're not like they're just not that commonly used. With Grand Cathay, you typically see a more boxier playstyle, and the Longbow Riders just don't fit in that playstyle. However, for the Empire, we do have Karl Franz, the man himself, the Emperor of mankind. You heard me, Nardu. He does have Galmaraz, Reichland Runefang, and Stand Your Ground. He's also on Deathclaw, Swordsman for the front line, including the Sigmar's Sons, Unbreakable, ROR. We have Spearmen as well, plus double Empire Knights. Actually, quadruple Empire Knights, double handgunners, and some more spearmen, plus the Sunmaker. Double Grand Cannon is gonna be beautiful. It's gonna be perfect here because look at that. I mean, this Grand Cannon is definitely the most accurate single cannon artillery in the game, but the Sunmaker models themselves can take quite a bit of a beating. So typically, it does take a while, even with that much focus. Yeah, Crane Gunners are being pulled back, as that is what the Sunmaker is focusing on now, but now it's switching over to a different target on the Jade Warriors at the moment. Also didn't notice the Zangu War Drum. It does have that Disdain of the Dragon Emperor and Bastion of the Great Cities. You just swap between either or, I believe. Also, I think gives, yeah, Icon of the Great Cities plus another 8 leadership. That's pretty nice. You gotta protect it. Jade Wizard, you typically gotta bring that whenever you bring in a big SE like Karl Franz. Regrowth and Power Stone just gonna be there for healing up Karl Franz. A Talons of the Night goes down, but it's a little too. They tried to predict where the Empire player was going with their infantry and try to place it down, but it was a little too early, so it only got like a quarter of the unit. So it didn't do much damage, honestly. But it did a decent chunk of damage for how costly that spell is. You typically want it more focused on, like, say, a group of Empire Knights a big group of Empire Knights or something that's blobbed up. Though getting rid of the unbreakable Sigmar Sons, you know, is value within itself. But infantry fight is going underway. A bit of a lag there, might be from the spectating. But we'll see. Hopefully it subsides. But obviously the Grand Cathayan side is going to win the infantry fight. Swordsmen typically lose to Jade Warriors. Peasant Longspears will lose, but the Jade Warriors will make up for where the Peasant Longspears lack. Empire Knights make their way over to the Green Gunners, and that's a really, really nice catch there for the Empires, as they have nothing in immediate distance that can protect those Green Gunners. And the Green Gunners are extremely squishy with only 18 melee defense, so they will be shut down really quickly. Grand Cannon also being shut down by Karl Franz at the moment, or trying to be shut down. It just takes a while for SCs to actually destroy cannon models a lot of the times. Though Grand Cannon does have the more, like, the hitbox on the Grand Cannons are like just like massive, and a lot of the times I see SCs like Gordas just like wipe out Grand Cannon models instead of the crew. So, you know, as you can see already, the Grand Cannon model does end up running away, or rather the crew does end up running away, and they're probably gonna be shut down for the rest of the game if Karl Franz continues to continue to chase them off. But it looks like the Empire Knights are being sent to do that job. And same with the other Grand Cannon model. That one is also shut down, and the Empire Knights now have free reign after they continue chasing off that model, or those cannon crew. And you really do have to chase down that cannon crew, because otherwise they will come back, they will get back on top of that artillery piece, and they will cause significant damage if you let them. Wardrum keeping a lot of these Chiefs units in the fight, and did some solid work. But now really the only piece that the Grand Cathayan side has right now are the Righteous Lances, which are to at least fight the Empire Knights or to get on the ranged components of the Empire. And that's what they're doing right now, exactly. They're getting on top of the ranged components of the Empire, the handgunners, shutting them down, trying to get rid of them quickly. But we do have some spearmen coming over, same with the Jade Wizard, to try to help out. So they have to be quick. Same with, I think Karl Franz is also making his way over there too, and that could be pretty bad. But we do have the Empire Knights coming around now that the now that a lot of the mobility, or a lot of what the Grand Cathayan player had to shut down the Empire Knights and Karl Franz has been shut down, they have nothing to protect their infantry's backline. So now they're getting rear charged by Empire Knights, and that's just the easiest way to start routing off those units. Even with the war drum buffing them up, their leadership will eventually crumble. Though Jade Warriors typically have pretty high leadership, you know, hard to get rid of with their 80 armor. So typically, yeah, in this case you want to like cycle charge, bring the Empire Knights out, so hit them again, and that's another shock damage penalty. But we do have more Empire Knights in the backline that need to come over to the rest of the battlefield. Do have a Blossom Wind, I believe, hitting the Spearman. Let's see what kind of damage it does. You typically don't see this spell very often, considering it's like Burning Head, but more random and not as consistent. I guess that's the whole point of saying random. Yeah, it runs to the Spearman and actually doesn't do that bad, but it doesn't exactly do anything spectacular. Burning Head would have been better there. Obviously, Grand Cathay doesn't have access to Burning Head, so they gotta do what they gotta do. But yeah, it does seem like most likely it would be going to the Empire side now that the range components are shut down. In this case, typically I would want to see more Jade Lancers that can to hold off the Empire Knights, and that's why you don't see the Righteous Lances often, is because of how costly they are. With that cost, you can be spending that on the Jade Lancers instead. But yeah, Jade Lancers are pretty much the only thing you're going to have to contest the mobility of the Empire, as they're typically not going to bring any anti-large cav. If you do see them, I mean, they are extremely expensive, like the Royal Altar Griffiths, or just, what are they called in? I can't think of what they're called. The Griffins. Anyways, their anti-large cav typically are pretty prone to being shot by missiles, so, and aren't typically brought in general. So, yeah, so you typically see a lot of Empire Knights. I mean, Jade Lancers, and would also probably give you rooms. It also wouldn't help to have, wouldn't hurt to have shotgunners. I forgot what they're called as well. Can you switch the unit description so its bonuses? Why? I don't. What do you mean, like this? Like the tooltips? I get you. Yeah. Okay. That's what I figure you're saying. Yeah. Typically, you don't need to see the lore anyways. But yeah, I could do that. Yeah, you can see like the Peasant Longspear do have anti-large. They also have the Ying harmony, so they harmonate with Yin and Yang. So that's the whole Grand Cathayan gimmick, is that they have two different types of units, Ying and Yang. Yang's harmonizes with Ying, etc., etc. They get bonuses from it, so that's why it's so hard to typically break Grand Cathayan units, is because they harmonize with other units and they get a lot of leadership buffs, melee stat buffs, armor buffs, etc. So it makes them really durable and hard to get rid of. But yeah, the Grand Cathayan player is playing it pretty smart. They know they have very little in the way of mobility. They have very little in the way of artillery, ranged, left, or rather, they got all shut down. So they're sticking to what they know, what they have, and that's their hard hit, their hard, durable infantry, and placing it right here in the center of point 1. But the issue is that the Empire can at any point just outcap them in terms of cap weight. Send over a bunch of your infantry pieces onto the point and just outcap them in terms of weight, because as you can see from when you're replaying like something like Conquest, something with an objective point, it has, each unit has cap weight. So as you can see here, Spearmen have 3 cap weight. I don't know why it says 3.1. 3.1. I think it's because, oh, right, it's because of how much models they lost. How many models and HP that they've lost affects how much cap weight they have. So say if you had like a full health unit of infantry, like I don't know if the Ancestral Warriors have any cap weight right now. Yeah, they don't, because they're summoned units. But they'll typically have infantry have a cap weight of 5, Monsters infantry of 3, SEs of 3, expendable infantry of 2, Cav I think is 3 as well. Yeah, you can just outcap typically the Grand Cathayan player if everything gets onto the point. But the Grand Cathayan player is pushing them off, making sure to keep a lot of their units off. And then we do have a nice little Blossom Wind cutting through those swordsmen as well, which also couples with the fact that the the Righteous Lances are here, so it terror routes all these swordsman units. So who knows? Maybe the Grand Cathayan player does possibly end up winning on points, but that's quite a bit of time. But yeah, if the Carl Friends could literally just snipe out that war drum, and that'll just break the whole box. That's all Carl Friends need to do, is just jump on that war drum real quick and break the box. But I understand being wary of the Ancestral Warriors. But that's what you have your regrowth for. That's what you have your infantry for, your cav, to help mitigate some of that damage from those guys. But now we do have the handgunners being moved on in range, and they are what's going to be able to shut down that war drum as well, aside from Carl Franz. Carl Franz just keeps those Righteous Lances of Wei Jin from getting on top of the handgunners, then they'll be able to shoot the war drum freely. But for some reason right now, I think they're just shooting at infantry. Yeah, definitely shoot at the war drum. That's your priority target there. People underestimate how useful a war drum is. Yeah, the lag did continue. Unfortunately, I should have probably left earlier on. It's probably an unfortunate experience there for both players. But sometimes it's, you don't notice. You know, there was a bit of a time in Warhammer 2 where I hated seeing Grom the Paunch because of how often you'd see him. But that's just metas in general with Warhammer, with Total Warhammer. So that's bound to happen. But now I do like Grom the Punch. Yes, I do not mind Grom the Punch. And I do miss Warzag a bit now that he's been kind of overshadowed. As you can see, the War Drum got sniped out and the whole box broke. And there we go. It's going to go to the Empire side now. Now, War Drum had a lot of, was a lot of the reason, which pretty much the whole reason why that goddamn box was able to stay there for so long. I heard Nardu. Yeah, you heard me say, play Warzag, bring Double Giant, and win the day. That's what you heard. I really hope, I don't think we will get it, but in the new Greenskin DLC, we get more variations, variations of certain units, like Savage Orc Warboss would be freaking awesome. Savage Giants, giants with war paint would be pretty great, and they have the physical resistance of savage variety of units. That would be pretty cool. Value wise though, let's see, everything not looking too great on the Grand Cathay side. They just held a lot. 664 on the Dragon Blood Shooting Lord. Yeah, as much as I want to make the Blossom Wind work, it takes it's just not as good as something like Burning Head. And even then, even if it's not like terrible, it's still, I don't know. I think I'd probably just take, I probably would take Blossom Wind over Talons of the Night. Talons of the Night is okay, but with the cost and how much damage it does after it got nerfed, I'm not sure anymore. I think that's why Zhao Ming is typically the pick. 752 here on Carl Franz. Everything else. Nothing too special. 1477 there on these Empire Knights. Empire Knights pretty much just like ruled the day there. They had all the mobility there on the Empire side, while the Grand Cathay player pretty much had no mobility. I mean, they had 3 units of mobility. One obviously got shut down a lot earlier than expected. I mean, when you have a fast mobility unit like Peasant Horsemen, you want to keep them out of the fight and just keep them in the back and have them chase off any routing units, aid any fights if need be. But in reality, just keep them in the shadows for when they're necessary. But yeah, Righteous Lances were pretty much the only thing that the Grand Cathayan player had that made up for their own cost. I can't even remember if they're 1400 or so. I think they're 1450, maybe 1500. But yeah, well played to both players. Solid match. Download this game. Got another match from Nardu, and now I am going to spectate his game. The next one, at the very least. Oops, I keep hitting join. I feel like, ah, you have Nardu the Undroppable on the greenskins. I actually have not seen the new Goblin and Orc Spear units. But it's not like they're anything that you can't imagine, you know? Nothing special. I've been wanting Goblin Spear units and Orc Spear units for a long time now. Also, I don't know what's with some will probably disagree with me, but I don't know what is with the difference in card art quality is. Rather, what's happened to the card art since like Warhammer 2 and Warhammer 1, but it's like there's a very stark difference between that Goblin, like some of the new units in general for Warhammer 3 and DLC factions. There's a stark difference between some of the quality there. Like, I think it mostly shows in the newest DLC. What is it called? Not Shadows of Change. It's the other one. Tarmakans. Anyways, the DLC, like the card art quality, kind of like dropped to me like, severely. I think these Orc Boy Spears and the Goblin Swordsman unit card art looks pretty not good. It's mostly just the colors and style, I guess they went with. It's show, but I want the wonderful Nardu army to be shown on stream. Turns RTK, there we go. I haven't had my coffee yet, so. Brain is all dysfunctional. Isn't your real army? I mean, you can barely even see the actual. Yeah, you can barely even see the actual unit cards in this because obviously a lot of it's grayed out from the spectator mode. Yeah, like the you can't see it right now, but the orcs are yellow, which is really weird. I don't know why they made them so yellow in this compared to like the regular orc boy card, which is like they're very very green. Here, I'm just gonna back out real quick, Nardia. They're like, why are they so yellow? They're like piss yellow. It's gross. But like the the difference in the card art for me is like massive. I really do not like the newer card art that they've been making since Throne of Decay. I mean, even before then, I thought the card art was mid at best. Like, I really didn't like Shadows of Change's art. Like for a lot of the units there, I didn't think it was very good. I think, what is it? The Beetle Vortex Beast one is okay. Other than that, I really hate the Tentacles of Zinch one. Cockatrice one is fine, I suppose. Don't really like the Beastman Chaos units that we've been getting, the card arts for those. I think those look horrendous. Especially the Nurgle ones. Not to shit on Nurgle there for you Nardu, but I think these are so incredibly ugly. Like, especially this Bottle one, like that one's horrendous. To me, it looks like they just got the models, the 3D models themselves, and like softened them up with, like drew over them, softened them up, and then throw on a background. I think they look so bad. You like the goblin art one? I like the pose of it. I like the pose of it a lot. I think he looks. So to me, with the, did they give him like a helmet? I think they give him like a helmet, right? Yeah, they give him a little bit like a helmet, but the regular spear version doesn't. And like the this one right here, this goblin reminds me of an Uruk from Lord of the Rings. Just because of like the style of armor that they went with, the sword that they went with, the choppa, like it looks very Lord of the Rings to me. Which, to be fair, obviously, like most fantasy settings are just based off of Lord of the Rings or Tolkien, but it's just that style of goblin that they drew there. Okay, my bad. I'm joining back. I'm joining back. I'm joining back. You lying ass. I lied to you. Honest to God, I got lied to you. Is the next round even live yet? Rolling okay, round 3 is live. Okay. Who's your opponent, are you? Oh, Anarian? Oh, you're against High Elves? Nor High Elves. Yawn. If you don't win this, Nardu, you're not allowed to play Greenskins anymore. No way are you losing no pointy ear get. Yeah, you gotta win. So honestly, I'd probably keep the double giant out of this match. I mean, it could work. You know, it could throw your opponent off, but you know, build your Nardu army. Yeah, let's see your magic. I'm just saying, double giant that I recommended would probably not work here. I think Anarian knows your antics too much from all these new player tournaments. Expect, I bet you they would expect something like that. Oh, Anarian, are they not playing High Elves today? Am I goofing? I think you're right. I think they're playing Empire today. I'm silly. I'm goofing. Yeah, you're. Oh, are you? No, yeah, you're right. Ugh, there's 2 Empire players here today. You got 2 Empires, a Dwarf. Oh, I was thinking of Hayseed. Yeah, Hayseed was playing High Elves earlier. Yeah, you're right. Okay, Empire. I mean, Double Giant could. I mean, Empire. I've never seen an Aryan play Empire. I've pretty much only ever seen them play High Elves. So, you know, maybe. Anyways, good luck with your match, Nardia. Stop listening to me. No cheating. How does a Narian go from constantly playing nothing but High Elves and then they play the Empire? Wow, the regular sword variant goblins are only 300. I mean, to be fair, obviously they're still goblins, but Like that's so cheap. That's so nice to just have a full 5 stack of just base and goblins. They also gave freaking, I don't know how goblin spears have charge defense, but and charge reflection, but it doesn't make sense. Not one freaking bit. I don't even understand why they have bonus versus large. I mean, they have spears, but they're like one freaking eighth of the size of most creatures that they're up against. They're bumbling fools. They don't even know how to swing the spear majority of the time. Something just fell and I had no idea what. Oh well, that's fine. Probably nothing important anyways. Alright, after this I definitely need to get some coffee. Because I am sleepy. Iced coffee, of course, because it's steaming hot in Texas, as I say every single stream. Me, 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 me. What the heck happened to my on-screen chat? Like, not there anymore. Should have been. Like, no. What the heck? That sounds disgusting. Well, yeah. Why would you buy any flavored coffee from freaking Dunkin' Donuts? It's disgusting. Artificial garbage. You deserve it, honestly. You knew what you were getting. You go to Dunkin's for the donuts, and then you actually don't. You don't even go to there for the donuts. You go to the local Asian donuts shop that you most likely have. At least I don't know if you have them in New York, but here we have a ton of them, and you get to go there, get a nice dozen of donuts, and then get coffee from a place that doesn't suck. I got anxious, and that was, bruh. This is why I sit in the car for like 5-10 minutes if I don't already know beforehand, and think and look up menu of place where I'm going to see what I would want. That's how they get you. That's how they get you to try their god awful garbage. I thought Restream did the thing where like you could see the chat. Let me see. Am I crazy? I swear I thought that like Restream had that option or whatever to be able to like show your chat on screen. I'll have to look it up after. I don't remember. Like you used to be able to show like both Restreams and both like both streams chats merged together. You just get a hazelnut iced coffee cream sugar. I hate artificial hazelnut. I realized there was a massive line when I was pulling in and drive through. road. After the drive, we couldn't see the menu for a while. Again, this is why you look it up online first. 1 second. The call coming in. All right. Bruh, you should have just ordered what you usually get. You goofball. Yeah, in that case, every time I'm in that position, and I like have to think of something on the spot, I always order some garbage, something garbage. I don't know if y'all have like Dutch Bros or whatever, but that's pretty much the only place I go to. If I want like garbage coffee with a bunch of sweet stuff in it. And if the person comes to me too early, because like they like wait outside for you to drive up to the drive-thru. If they come to me too early, I'm just kind of like fumbling the ball, and I just pick whatever I usually get, because that's just easier. I've been too disappointed by new garbage at these coffee shops a lot of the time that I don't even bother anymore. I don't bother trying the new stuff. But back to the game. We do have Master Engineer on a steam tank with Pigeon Bomb, that BS Pigeon Bomb. Though it does have limited uses now, so it's not that bad anymore. But it's still kind of like a mini Searing Doom almost. Unit of halberds plus double Free Company militia. We have a bunch of state troops in the front line, Empire Knights on both flanks, and a Jade Wizard with, I'm guessing, just regrowth, or is it? Yeah, just regrowth. No Power Stone. We have triple Pistolier as well, and if you want to contest the mobility of the greenskins, you gotta bring some Pistoliers, as they're pretty solid skirmishing units. That'll skirmish back and forth with the greenskins. You can't let them take control of it, as they typically have more ability than you outside of the Pistoliers. Nasty skulkers skulking in the back lines of those skits. We also have Warzag for the Lord here with the effigy of the Git, Brain Burster, and Foot of Gork. Oh my god, Nardi, if I see you land a Foot of Gork, I'll forgive you if you lose. Warpaint of Warzag for that extra 5% physical phys res, Power of Dewa, as well for more power recharge. And a whole bunch of goblins front line. This is a sword and board variant. The newly released ones looks more like they have daggers, but yeah, those can be considered swords because of their size. But little gits, this guy's gonna get murdered. Whole bunch of, or rather, 2 units of Orc Biggins. We also have Orc Warrior Biggins on both flanks with a giant as well. We have a Black Orc Big Boss on foot with, no, he doesn't have his item, so he's just there being a fighter. We also have some Squig Hurts to help chew through that those state troops. The giant will at least put some pressure on the Master Engineer if he gets too close, so it could do some decent work. We also have Snotly Punt Wagons, who do have their own range component, a ranged part gun bow. I can't think of the word. They do have a bit of range, but yeah, now they're gonna be shot to pieces by the Pistoliers and gonna ride off fairly quickly. Those poor little snotling buggers, they're dead. They're just gonna be picked apart, and there they go. Warboy Biggin does take a fight that's gonna overwhelm them. They go the Knights of the Blazing Sun. I didn't even notice there were Knights of the Blazing Sun actually. Are they both Knights of the Blazing? Oh my god, failed streamer. Both Knights of the Blazing Sun. Are these Empire Knights on the other side? Yes. Yeah. Rory Biggin will trade fantastic into the Empire Knights, but Knights of the Blazing Sun will do a tremendous amounts of damage to the Rory Biggins on that initial charge. So badly to the point where they'll pretty much lose the rest of the fight, no matter how good they are at fighting large targets. Fight's going better on this side, as they're not against Knights of the Blazing Sun. And they also have some support from the Morngrim's Mangy Marauders, which do need to go around and get a flanking volley into the side. You have these squig herds and goblin troops fighting amongst the crowd here, getting some nice stabbing in. We also have the giant here as well, tearing apart a trooper. So infantry fight is definitely going pretty decent for the Greenskin side. We also have the Rusty Arrows, which again for Mestamau, shooting into the Master Engineer. That's exactly the right choice they want to be shooting at, lowering his armor down to 130 right now, but he does have that directional missile block right now, unfortunately. So now if they shoot into his back, then he doesn't have that now he doesn't have that gold shield. Now he's down to bronze, but now those rusty arrows have been shut down by the pistoliers. They're not able to shoot. There's Nazi Skulkers do pop their smoke bomb, and they're probably going to try to get on top of the Jade Warrior. And if they do catch out that Jade Warrior, the Jade Caster, that could be a pretty nice catch. But they really need that smoke bomb to catch him, and unfortunately they've already used it, so they try to hide themselves. Blackrock Big Boss does get on top of the Free Company militia, and he's fighting some gits, but he's mostly just there to stop them from shooting, not really expecting to do a whole lot of damage with them. Giant also getting into the Free Company militia, stopping them from shooting as well. Doing some solid work. We do have halberds holding back squig herds, which obviously they I think are large targets, so they will be taking pretty solid damage from those halberds, as they do have bonus versus large. The rest of the arrows continue firing into the Master Engineer. And I was talking about that directional block earlier. Directional block essentially means that they have a shield, like a 360 shield around them, as they are a tank. But obviously the armor plating is a lot weaker on certain sides. Like the backside, they don't have much armor, so they don't get that gold shield to block 70% missiles. On the front they do, but on the back they only block 7%. On the sides is 35%. So, but it's very hard to shoot the engineer in the back majority of the time, or the sides, because typically the Magic Engineer will look in straight at you while he fires deadly cannons into your freaking face. Bye bye, puppy. We also have a Pigeon Bomb coming down, hitting those Rory Biggins and doing some solid work there. But yeah, Master Engineer is very hard to shut down. Even with the steam tank only being limited to one on the Empire side, it's still very tough for the Greenskins to handle steam tanks. As a lot of the times where Rory Biggins are too damaged early on, and they'll be taking cannon shots from the steam tank anyways. But when they do get on top of it, it's not exactly like they'll shut it down extremely quickly. Rolling dirty for little orcs. It's being tossed around like bags of dirt. These Nazi Skulkers are close to finishing off these spearmen, and once they do, they can make their way over to continue supporting the rest of their army. Low damage value though, we do have 6,600 to 4,900, 5,000 now. Obviously ahead is Nardu, but and that's what matters right now, as the point has not been capped by either side. The giant getting into the spearmen and will terror rout them. You have a Gork coming in here. Yes, Gork finishing off those Free Company militia, and they just got absolutely destroyed from that Gork. That was beautiful. Do have some Orc Biggins coming back, Orc Biggins coming back. A lot of infantry from the Empire side routing off. We do have some pistoliers still alive. Some with only 40 models, the other with full models, but only 3 volleys of ammunition left. Same with this one. Only 3 volleys as well. And once their ammunition runs out, they're practically useless aside from just running down targets, running down routing targets. I wouldn't call it them useless per se, but in combat, yes. You have an FAD get on the Pistoliers, stop him in their place, so hopefully the big ones catch him, but no, it was not enough time, and they unfortunately get away before they can actually be caught. If I was Nardu, I'd probably send like a goblin over to the point and just capture that while the Empire player continues to chase off your routing units. Send over that unit just to capture it and start racking up points, and so you're not just kited to death pretty much. Exactly what the Conquest point is for. Data Wizard completely routing off the rusty errors, but in the meanwhile they're not able to cast any spells on any of their I guess regrowth on the Master Engineer, but I guess he doesn't need one right now, does he? He's practically full HP. There's the nasty Skilkers do pop their smoke bomb. Might be able to get on top of the Master Engineer, but will it mean much? Probably not. You have another spell going down. I keep forgetting what it's called. Brain Burster. Going down and hitting those Pistoliers, doing some okay work. Giant's never going to catch those Pistoliers as much as he wants to. Point finally possibly taken by the Greenskins, and yes, Nardu does finally take the point. If they stick on the point and the Empire player never attempts to contest it, yeah, as I said, I doubt the Nasty Skilkers were going to do anything, and they didn't do anything. Yeah, unless the Empire player contests the point, which they should. Unless they do, then Nardu should theoretically win out on points. We have another Brain Buster going down on the Pistoliers. We do have a Pigeon Bomb coming in as well. Might hit those Orc Biggins a little bit. Not too bad though. Also, mostly only chipping down the side of them. So, pretty lucky there. As those Orc Biggins are pretty valuable. Oh man, oh man, oh man. I'm yawning. I'm sleepy. Goblins coming over. They're gonna get run over. Shot in the freaking face by a steam cannon. Who doesn't live seeing goblins get run over by a tank? You can hate Empire, but I mean, isn't that just beautiful to see? Giant does get in there and start whacking it. Start schwacking him with his meat. Just giving him the big old meat stick. And it's not actually a meat stick, it's just a regular club. A barbed club of some sorts. Literally just an entire freaking tree. He's get a hit or two on him, but it doesn't really matter because he's just going to regrowth it up. Even if you got more. Yeah, at that point, just stick the rest of your gets on the point. Obviously, you want to continue chasing the Mass Engineer so he doesn't continue to shoot at you. But sometimes you probably just got to take it. And he only has 7 volleys left, so. Warzag might end up getting sniped out completely here by the Pistoliers. He has they took 2 volleys of ammunition left. The steam cannon is down to 6 now. If the green skin player is able to pull out Warzag and save him from those dreaded Pistoliers or the steam cannon. Oof! A nasty shot there, down to 989 HP. If Warzag routs, this could be pretty bad. But I mean, we do have, at the end of the day, we still have the big boss and the giant, so. Chop us out. Poor Biggins. Yeah, the Pistoliers probably trying to go for that snipe out on Warzag, and they might just do it. Oof, 388, and then yeah, just one volley from those pistoliers might be able to be enough. No, they only have 20 models. I don't think they'll be able to do it. Are they gonna do? They're gonna get their shots off. 388, come on, get your freaking shots out. There we go. 309. Okay, yeah, that's what I figured. They're gonna miss like 90% of their shots. The distance from him. And he does have that physical phys res as well from his own ability. Actually, not from his own ability, just from being a natural savage orc. Now here's the issue. The big boss is being chased down by the Master Engineer. Stop chasing after the Jade Wizard and just fight the Master Engineer. Like, cause he's just being rear charged the entire time. And he's just taking free damage. You really do not want this. He's just taking free freaking damage. So I said to keep everything else on the point. And now the big boss is cornered and alone, and he's gonna be riding off probably here soon. Sure, the giant is gonna be almost impossible to deal with, but if the Empire player is able to ride off the rest of this greenskin infantry, which they can very easily considering how low their leadership is now that Warzog has routed off. If they're able to route those off, then they can just outcap weight the giant. Yeah, I really think letting that big boss be pushed away like that was a pretty big mistake there, unfortunately. And the giant being sent after pistoliers, Nardu, I think you're trolling. I think you're trolling here. Why are you doing this? Why is this chasing after the pistoliers? Stop chasing the pistoliers, please. The giant's never gonna catch him. What's the point? Nardu. Help! Help! I don't know what this guy's thinking he's gonna do. He's not gonna get there for... By the time he gets there, end times will be setting in and the game will be over.
They are wavering.
Yeah, typically when you have like skirmish cav that have like no ammunition left, that's the best use for them, is just chasing off any routed units like this and keeping them from coming back. And if they would manage to be able to kill Wurzag, which a lot of the times it's not going to happen with that, because attacking with cav against like a routing unit is so impossible. They can never attack. Look at that, they're just surrounding them and doing nothing. One guy attacks out of this whole bunch of group. They finally like get him cornered, and look, nobody here is attacking. They're just like, hey buddy, we got you here. We got you cornered. How's it going? Yeah, have you heard of Sigmar?
Textbook maneuver.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty tough matchup for the Greenskins, despite Nardu's build. The Steam Tank is rancid. It's heinous. Like, it's one of the definitely. It's funny. It's sad too, because I remember hating the Steam Tank before like they updated it and made it better with the missile block, and then now giving the Master Engineer the mount for it. Or rather, introducing the Master Engineer Lord and giving them the mount for the Steam Tank. Has done heinous things to the state of the game and to the Empire. Yeah, look at this. The Black Orc Big Boss is just being pushed off the point, and he's not able to do anything. So while this is happening, the giant needs to be hitting hits on the master engineer. It doesn't matter though. The giant won't be able to burst down the master engineer fast enough. And unfortunately now I think the Empire will probably close this out and win it.
Team, retreat!
And Nardi does end up dropping out. Oh, they're hugging. They're all hugging Warzag and comforting him and telling him that it's okay that he got focused down by pistoliers and got his army run over by steam tanks. It's okay, little Warzag. It's okay. We're here for you. Kinda is an understatement. I was talking to some people, and you know how the Thunder Barge, it can't be healed on the Dwarven roster because one, they don't have any magical healing, and two, the one person that can heal it isn't that great of a lord in the first place, and he has a special ability for it that can only heal those type of units. They can't heal anything else besides war machines, right? So riddle me this: why can the steam tank be healed up if by on the Empire's roster by magical means, if the Thunder Barge can't? I liked the directional missile block. It actually makes it feel like a tank. The issue here is that a few things. One, the fact that you can heal it with regrowth and healing spells in general. Two, the fact that it has so much mass. I mean, obviously it's a tank, but balance reasons. The fact that it has so much mass that it can just like push through all of your infantry and even through monstrous infantry and cav and still get out practically unscathed because of its own armor is insane. Like, your lord, your SC, your hero SC, whatever, being forcibly pushed back by the game's mechanics instead of just having him get knocked over, having him being stuck there while the steam tank just forcibly like humiliates the SC is insane. That is extremely unfun for the person using the SCs, because that Blackwork Big Boss wasn't able to do anything. Just the entire time he was being shoved by the friggin' steam tank. Couldn't get off any animations. Was forcibly just pushed away from the objective. I also don't know why the steam tank is unbreakable either, because the steam tank isn't operating itself. It has crew. The crew in that steam tank don't want to die, presumably. I mean, maybe they go into it thinking like, "Hey, we're in this like this dwarven-made hunk of steel that's unreliable and can explode at any time. So we're probably going to die in this thing." But they're not flagellants. They're not unbreakable. They may accept that they're going to die, but that doesn't mean they want to die. So why is it unbreakable? And I assume the Master Engineer, even with the Master Engineer on there, is he still unbreakable, or is it still unbreakable entirely? Or let me see. Hold on. Let me see if the round is live, so I don't delay anything. Okay, the top four is ready. So we have Hot Fiery Potato, Random Cuban, Luscious Lover, Hayseed, and then yeah, okay. Sorry, you just woke up. Yeah, me too. No, actually, I haven't even woken up yet. Sorry. Let me hop into Hot Fire Potato and Random Cubans. Do we want to go over value really? We already know what the freaking value is going to be like. Empire 3,500 freaking value here on the Mass Engineer. What a surprise. I hate this. I kind of hate this because I love the Empire. I love fighting for Sigmar and all that nonsense. I love Karl Franz, but it frustrates me when factions are like straight up banned or hated by the community because of CA's balancing decisions. But also at the same time, that does not go for certain type of hate, certain types of hate for like the dwarves, people who straight up just want the dwarves out of the game, or like, you know, etc. Ignore those people. Those people are worthless. Ignore them. They can cry in the corner while the dwarves have all the fun. Dwarves are great. Ignore those people. I'm talking about game factions that are inherently fun but have serious balancing decisions, balancing mistakes by CA. Not even mistakes, because they want to acknowledge them as mistakes, but serious balancing issues that plague the community and force people to not like playing against that faction. But then again, people whine about stuff like the Empire, but also the Barbarians did pretty solid despite, you know, their initial engagements. Giant didn't do that great either. But yeah, nothing else did even close to the amount of value there that that damned Master Engineer did. Let me do this real quick. Block her up. Multiplayer. Let me hop into the thing before I make people wait too long. I think is that the actually the okay, that is actually the password. The password is ass word. Had a fat nap in the middle of that battle in the unbreakable tank. I don't blame you. I really don't freaking blame you. But anyways, my rambling, I was continuing that. People complain about the Empire. And, I mean, including me, I'm literally complaining right now. Specifically about the Empire as a faction. But more so CA's balancing decisions, obviously. But people complain about certain factions being unfun to play against in general, despite everything. And that's fine. That's cool. Whatever. As long as they're also complaining about the numerous other factions that the Total Warhammer game has been plagued with since the launch of Warhammer 3, since Warhammer 2, but even more so in Warhammer 3. Siege Spellkite, not fun to play against. Wood Elf Kite, not fun to play against. I know this is, you know, obviously a theme. There's a recurring theme here. But some factions rely on certain... might not rely on it, but some majorly benefit from certain playstyles. And that's considered okay and fine. despite it being just as boring to not only play in or play against, but also watch. And a lot of the times that's not complained about because it's like, that's how it was in the previous games. Why should it change? Never mind that. Never mind all that, the rant and all that. Just the point is that Steam Tank is an issue. It's a major issue in land battles in particular, and Dom, it can be dealt with because of your numerous amounts of reinforcements and whatnot. We're not talking about that. We're talking about land battles, Conquest. It's a serious issue in both of these game modes, especially specifically against certain factions. Against greenskins, it's really hard to counter it. But any other faction like that have typically lower leadership and don't have good focusing units with focusing power, like say if you used not even focusing power, because if you shoot anything at it, considering the directional missile block, majority of the time they won't take much damage from it. So your best bet is a net of some sort with artillery. Artillery can probably counter it, but obviously greenskins don't have that, and that's so we're not talking about greenskin. We're not talking about greenskins in general. We're talking about just factions having to deal with it. And artillery factions are the ones who have a chance. Monsters infantry have a chance as well, but you know, units of factions of monsters infantry have a chance as well. But the issue is obviously they get shot to pieces the majority of the time by Empire units or run off by Cav. So Steam Tanks definitely a big issue in land battles in Conquest, and I think we should probably just. I'm not sure if they should be banned entirely. If the mass engineer mount should be banned, I think probably the mass engineer mount should probably be banned simply because not only is he your lord, so an unbreakable lord on a mount that's extremely broken is probably not okay. It probably shouldn't be okay at all. But a base Steam Tank by itself, probably fine enough to deal with. Because it could just be ignored. I don't know what I have on the roster for GS to stop that tank. Have you tried a feral wyvern? I'm not. That's not even like sarcastic or anything like that. Or that's me generally curious. I haven't seen any feral wyverns like pretty much ever used since they got released. They got used like once or twice, but you know, them being considered feral, I can imagine that they get thrown into rampage extremely quickly. All right. Doom divers, maybe we could be interesting to test out. I think Doom divers are pretty decent at targeting SCs, just like with hell cannons. I occasionally use hell cannons to target SCs that are particularly annoying and need to be focused down, and they do a pretty decent job at it. But I don't know. I think it's possible to snipe out the Jade Wizard on the mount, on his mount, because That's why most people bring the wizards on foot, right? So they can it's less likely that they get sniped out. They fall when they get charged, etc. So they take less damage or no damage at all. So I think if the opponent messes up and brings them on a mount, I think it's possible to catch them out. It's just very hard to do so. But they're pretty much the key to why the engineer is able to survive for so long. Because those regrowths are pretty nasty on it. Which again, did not affect the steam tank, by the way. Unless the crew are somehow being killed inside. Techless. Sort of techless. Is he on horseback? Yes, he is on horseback. Does have sort of techless for that. I mean, that's pretty much one of the big reasons why you bring him. That and sort of Troy. Push on Troy. But I guess also his multi-spell utility belt there is pretty nice. Net of Amnitok. Techless is just pretty much great all around. He's just very expensive if you bring on anything without a horse. Yeah, Net of Amnitok, Regrowth, Block of Doom, and his Potion of Troy, which gives him healing, plus that word safe, makes him hard to kill, and increases his cooldowns. For the rest of the army, whole bunch of a staunch line of spears. We also have some archers in the back line, silver helms on both flanks, presumably, and double war lion. We also have a Star Dragon. Techless, will you shut up? Jeez. Star Dragon, pretty solid there. We also have a Leon Reavers for the skirmishing side. Empire-wise, we do have Karl Franz, the man himself, Emperor of Mankind, Nardu, with Garmaraz, Michael Runefang, and Stand Your Ground. For the rest of the army, Spearmen at arms, a bunch of state troops, halberds on both flanks, or rather just to cover the flanks, and 2 handgunners in that second line. Whole bunch of Empire Knights, pretty much what you always bring against the High Elves. And we do have a Jade Wizard with Regrowth and Power Stone. And then, look at that! A Steam Tank on a base version of Steam Tank, just like I was talking about. I think High Elves are another factions which struggle against the Steam Tanks really badly. And it's gonna be looking pretty scary for the High Elves. You know, Lyrian Reaver's taking some nasty shots from the Steam Tank already. Already up to 13 kills with 105 value. As long as they stay under this hill, they can try to avoid those shots and just possibly kite the Empire Knights or whatever the unit. Empire Knights obviously do have 30% missile blocks, so, and they also have 110 armor. So, not gonna take a whole lot of damage from the Lyrian Reavers. I wonder if bringing... Both of ours suck, but might be better than nothing. Just a single, slowly target down the Steam Tank. But also, I do like... what's his name? A lot here. With his moon bow. Dylan Sprout. I don't know. I forgot his name. Sisters, if you bring those, they're just gonna focus fired by the Steam Tank, so it's not really worth it. Yeah, that's what you get for talking bad about Karl Franz. On the left-hand flank, we do have the Empire Knights being caught out by the Silver Helms, and the Silver Helms will eventually win that, especially with the support of the Lyrian Reaver archers. We do have a Flock of Doom hitting all 3 of these targets here. The state troops and handgunners can do some decent value there. Flock of Doom meta is just like so boring, by the way. Speaking of boring metas, but that's no fault of players, obviously. Karl Franz does get netted in the air. Look at that. Finally, for once, the net on a flying unit actually works. He doesn't just like float up or down. But he gets caught out there, and Star Dragon does try to go in there for the kill, but Reichland Ring popped, Stand Your Ground popped, and Galmaros popped. He's making him a pretty beefy fighter, but he didn't get the charge, and he's also being shot in the back by both archer units. So looking pretty nasty for Karl. though he does have healing, so if things get too bad, that healing can come in here. Empire Knights getting a possibly rear charge here on the spearmen, and they do, and that is a beautiful charge there on those spearmen. Team Tank also get in there nasty and dirty, just filling elves with steam, hot steam. Those poor elves, knife ears, are just being steamed to death. Star Dragon continues chasing after Carl. Gonna get a breath attack coming in here soon, and it does come down and it hits those halberds, and that's a beautiful breath attack. Really well done there by Random Cuban. Though obviously would have been better, like if you hit the Empire Knights and Spearmen in this one line, this one row. Fight still going on with Empire Knights and the Silver Helms. Do have it's pretty much just a wet noodle contest, so it makes sense. Archers shooting in at the moment to halberds, but they're also being disrupted by Empire Knights. We're just gonna run through there real quickly. Point 1 is taken by the High Elves. Team Tank running through the spearmen and getting on top of the archers. Star Dragon does need to get on top of that Steam Tank, possibly get a net of Amnatok on Carl to keep him out of the fight. But look at that. Love that. Love that beautiful bugged animation of flying units trying to target ground targets. Classic. Thanks, CA. No need to be snarky, I know, but it's just frustrating. But Star Dragon does lose its chase and is now having to fight Carl Franz. But with Carl Franz without his items popped, that makes a much better fight for the Star Dragon. As you can see, I mean, 65, 51, 580, 56, 43, 490. Obviously, Carl Franz is like 10 more armor, but it matters not in the face of a Star Dragon. Especially with the support of the range components, which are being shut down by Carl at the moment. And the Steam Tank. Pretty nasty combo there, Carl Franz and the Steam Tank. Leon Reavers continue shooting into the handgunners who are being disrupted in the back line and not able to flee. Balance of power looking okay for both sides, kind of pretty even. And we do have some Empire Knights coming over. Gonna try to find a sweet spot over here. Maybe aid the infantry. AJ the Wizard being protected by Spearman at the moment, so not able to get caught out. This is probably the big breadwinner fight here. If the Star Dragon gets sniped out, or if Carl Franz gets sniped out, and vice versa, things could look bad for either player. But Star Dragon does have pretty substantial amount of HP still left, 6,000. Carl Franz does have stand your ground once again, however. Whoa! What happened to the Star Dragon's leadership there? Jesus. First, oh my god, look at those stacks. Is 25 from damage, 14 from attacking the flank, damage by artillery from the Steam Tank, and then the Spearman routing screwed him, and then oh my god, flank, rear, and oh, that is horrendous. That poor Star Dragon's leadership just dipped into the freaking Grand Canyon there. What the hell? Oh, that's so tough. That is so brutal. If that Star Dragon is finished off by Carl Franz, I think that probably seals the deal for the High Elves, because that's all they have left to contest those two units, Steam Tank and Carl. I mean, the War Lions are there, but they're good, but not that good. We really need a net here, please. Just a net, a fat freaking net here to stop these two from chasing after the Star Dragon. You really need that Star Dragon to come back. Please, God, give me that net. Heck, even the Empire Knights let it get back into the air, so we just need a net on Carl. And the freaking line is, there's still a bit of time. I don't know what the winds of magic are looking like for good old Teclis here, but desperately in need of that net. But the point is still in the High Elf's favor. The Empire player doesn't seem to be going for it at all. And otherwise, infantry looking okay for both sides. Not too bad. It's just, again, a wet noodle contest. No, there's no like infantry killing clearing units aside from the War Lions. And the War Lions are kind of tied up by Cav at the moment. Which they obviously do not want to fight despite their AP values. No, don't tell me to start Dragon. No, please. That's so unfortunate. Yeah. Dang, that really freaking sucks. Man, oh man, that's so unfortunate. Yeah, I think unfortunately that spells the end for Cuban. As there's really nothing that can deal with this Team Tank and Carl Franz anymore. I'll never talk bad about Carl Franz again, I promise. The Wyvern could fight it, but I just need to protect it. Still would need 2 units. Yeah, it's really hard to protect that Wyvern with that Rampage. I hate the Rampage on Feral units. It's especially bad, but at least the Lizardmen have that like one ability, Cold-Blooded, to calm the Rampage. Actually, I don't think it's Cold-Blooded. It's the other one. I forgot what it's called, but nonetheless. Greenskins don't have that, which would help a lot. Yeah, the issue with like feral units is like as soon as they take like even a modicum amount of damage from say like even a Pistolier or Freakum Militia, etc., they just rampage immediately and they get caught out and die. So you lose like so much value on them. I don't know. It's tough for the greenskins. Yeah, I think this game is pretty much over. Unfortunate. Our friend still has plenty of HP left with the Steam Tank. This tank is probably going to be able to clutch this out entirely, just on its own. I mean, the War Lions could surround it, I guess, but again, they're better against his infantry. Not great against SCs, and they'd probably just get routed off by the first cannon shot that goes into them. Another freaking regrowth. Yeah, another freaking regrowth going down on the Jade Wizard. I would have kept that in reserves for Carl, but understandably, if they think that Jade Wizard is going to die, then it might be worth keeping him if they know they have more Winds of Magic for another regrowth. Dirty little shot there. Killing some spearmen. Up to 345 points already for the High Elves. I mean, if they stall the Empire player long enough and the Empire player doesn't somehow notice that the tickets are going up, they could win it, I guess. But I'm pretty sure they're going to send those Spearmen over to get on top of the point. If not, then the Steam Tank. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, it does end up going to the Empire. Well played to both players, and yeah, just I imagined. High elves are gonna struggle just as badly as the greenskins against the stink. The power of the stink. Quite unfortunate indeed. Quite unfortunate. 248, 286. Everything else 1028 on the silver helms. Warlines did fine. 2111. Yeah, just losing out on that Star Dragon pretty much sealed the deal. It was so unfortunate to have it rout with so much HP that he gained back. And after the Star Dragon was gone, nothing could protect Teclis really. Carl France 1330. He wasn't even the highlight of the show, despite being the Emperor. $12.58 on this Empire Knight, and yep, $33.58 on this Team Tank. No surprise. Surprise one bit. Hmm. Oh, 43. Okay. Huh. I know how to put numbers down? I guess not. Alright, more High Elves, this time against Bretonia. That was a little bit more of a fair fight, but if the High Elves win this, they're going to have to play against the Empire again, unfortunately for them. Alright, High Elves, a High Mage, up against Fey Enchantress. Are those chevroned Rangers I see? Did my weary, sleepy eyes tell me wrong there? Yep, those are chevron Rangers. So some of these units have chevrons. Okay. What is this, Hayseed? You dirty dog. What the heck is this? What is this freaking build? Quadruple Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. We have Triple Ranger. All of them chevroned. It's only 3 ranks of chevrons each, but that's still 3 ranks of chevrons each. Spearmen, a whole bunch of spearmen. Triple Phoenix Guard once again with the Keepers of the Flame. Oh man, they look so baller in this freaking color scheme. Stupid pointy helmets with them being elves and all, but look at that. Those look so nice. Oh my god. That looks so dirty. If I ever do a high elf tabletop army, I'm definitely going to be doing that color scheme. But we also have some Illyrian Reavers, just some base version, no skirmishing version. And that's pretty much it. What about the Archmage? What do you got here? Hand of Glory, Fiery Convocation, and Apotheosis. Okay, interesting. I mean, obviously the bolt throwers would do okay on single fire against monstrous infantry like Hippogriffs and Pegasus Knights, but aside from that, what else are they gonna do? If they go into like the multi-shot, it's not gonna do a whole lot. No, I don't know. But the Britannian side, we do have a Fey Enchantress with Regrowth, Earthblood, and Awakening of the Wood. She is on our pony, and she does have as well Chalice Potions. For the rest of the army, men at arms with spears, etc., etc. Peasant bowmen with fire arrows, regular versions as well, and some pox arrows. We have foot squires in the back that can help clear up any chaff from the high elf side and just fight any more heavily armored targets. Hippogriff Knights and double Pegasus Knights to help to contest the air and shut down any dragons, etc. that come into sight. They can shut those down real quick. Oh, I also missed a Grail Reliquary, and yeah. Should be good fight. Oh, and a Paladin. How did I miss you, little Paladin? You're so tiny. Paladin on a Pegasus as well. Does have his Guardian ability. Alright. Are these on single fire? I don't know if I could tell. I don't think I can. I think they're on single fire. And right now they are targeting the Pegasus Knights, which isn't a bad choice, but they are floating around the tree and then around the building to avoid any shots. Surprising to see they're just sending their freaking infantry up so first, just leaving everything else in the back line. But I mean, to be fair, if it's mostly just infantry left for the Bretonnian side and all the other monstrous infantry components are going around, then why not? The Hippogriffs can literally just turn around and just rear charge everything and let them down if they wanted to. Bolt throwers continue firing in on the Hippogriffs, doing moderate okay damage. You have some spell of some sort, some concoction going through the spearman arms. And an awakening of the wood or something. No, they just are being shot to death by a whole bunch of peasant bowmen and pox arrows, blowing them down while they're being shot. Pegasus Knights just finding in a spot here. They can get in here real quick and get on top of those Eagle Claw bolt throwers. Same with this one if they decide to. But instead it's just going to be the one who will be quickly surrounded if they're not careful and they do run out of there. Do have some Illyrian Reavers routing off. That's the only mobility piece really for the High Elf side, unfortunately. So things are not looking good already. Lush's Lover can do this. I mean, they have the lady on her side, on their side. Hippogriffs waiting to find a spot, not trying to invest too early on and get themselves caught or finished off. Though, despite me saying that, there's not much that can finish them off here on the battlefield. Spearmen are now under fire, same over here. But I won't hold for long if that's what they think. Fire arrows and pox arrows continue firing in as well. But Squires, did they get any kills yet? No, it doesn't seem like it. Unfortunately for them. But they could definitely turn around and deal with the Rangers. But instead they'll be fighting more Spearmen or Silver Guard to be... Or actually Phoenix Guard, excuse me. I don't know why I was thinking Silver Guard. Illyrian Reavers do end up coming back, so we do have some ability left for the High Elves. Keepers of the Flame trying to protect those Eagle Claw bolters so they can go back up and shooting. And they are going to make their way over to the other bolt thrower to get on top of them and try to shut them down as they continue to fire in at those Hippogriffs. I doubt they've done much damage in general. 197 here, and then none here, I'm pretty sure. 141. Yeah, not looking great for the bolt throwers today. From what I can assume, I would definitely most likely say, oh, those foot squires have taken quite a bit of damage, haven't they? My god, why do they take so much damage? From what? What did I miss? Those foot squires do end up possibly riding off though, and we do have another one coming in to fight the Phoenix Guard, and they're actually like taking quite a bit of damage from just fighting Phoenix Guard, which surprisingly. But I guess Phoenix Guard do have, EP, so, and decent, pretty good melee stats. Both throwers get shut down completely. Kill the enemies of the Bretonia. Sigma. Sigma. I'm surprised these bolt throwers have stayed up for as long as they have, but I guess they've been like they haven't really bothered to think about them because they're not doing much anyways in the first place. But I guess the paladin, anytime he tries to jump in, is just getting hit by the keepers of the flame. Though we do have a chalice of potions coming in, I don't think it's going to make it in time. And those Phoenix Guard do jump out of there. Paladin does end up routing off. I don't know why. You can't tell me you took too much damage. Can't tell me you took that much damage to ride off as quickly as you did. Do we have any more, I presume, more regrowth in the pocket there? Because if so, those hippogriffs definitely are in need of some. And then we do end up having one. Nice. Just going to top them up real quickly, as they're pretty much one of your biggest win cons for the Bretonian side. Is the Archmage about to get sniped out by the freaking Paladin? No, I guess we do have the Keepers of the Flame here. And they might be able to just finish off that Paladin if they can surround him. But he's going to be able to get away considering Pegasus. Pony. Well, Hookrats do join in on the fight there to try to finish off those Rangers, get them out of here. Point one still somehow in the hands of the High Elves, but is now finally being taken by the Bretonian side. Some spell being casted down here, probably fiery convocation. Oh no, they didn't dodge it in time, and it's gonna rip through them. Yep, those foot squires and grand alarms not looking too great after that one. With the point going back into the Bretonian flavor, I'm not too sure about things anymore. I don't think it's at all possible for the High Elves to come back. Yeah. Yeah, it's probably. Oh, what is this? Another fiery convocation going down? Is they gonna land another one? Yes, they do end up landing another one, and it's just gonna rip through all those foot squires and those spearmen at arms and etc. Yikes! That's pretty bad. Yikes! Ouch! It's gotta hurt. That's really gotta hurt. Paladin continues to chase after the Archmage, trying to snipe her out, but again, she continues to receive support from the Keepers of the Flame. Oh man, I'm tired. Like, like really tired. Gotta love flying units. Look at that. Half of the models cannot fight because they're just like stuck in the air while trying to chase down a ground target. Finally, they freaking jump down. The one goes up in the air. Okay, they're all going up in there now. Okay. That reminds me, does the Fae have her Mortis engine? I hope so. Yes, she does. Okay, so it's slowly whittling down those Phoenix Guard. And you do have a nice awakening in the wood there, disrupting their formation so she can make their way out, while also sniping her the Archmage. Pretty nice. Pretty nice play there from Luscious Lover. Another Earthblood coming down, hitting the Royal Hippogriff Knights and the Pegasus Knights. Peasants continue to fire in, but this one only has, what, 8 volleys of ammunition left, and this one 2? Okay. They'll run out eventually. Hippogriffs do get in there on the fight there and start fighting the Keepers of the Flame. The issue is that the Keepers of the Flame will do a tremendous amount of damage to the Hippogriffs if the Bretonnian player is not careful. But I guess they're trying to go all in so they can take the point back. Because, oh, yeah, and they do, because the Keepers of the Flame do get routed off, and it goes to the Bretonnian side. Look at that. Luscious Lover pulling out the win. I feel like that went a lot longer than it should have, considering the build there from the High Elves. But, pretty good match all around. GG's. 554 here. Everything else, 1417, 886. 2204 on the Keepers of the Flame is pretty nice. Never see them make that much value up. Bolt throwers, 736, 617, 596, 1401. Where do I see 1401 at? Brain just dying, I guess. Let's see. For the Fey Enchanter, 1546. Nothing spectacular here. The foot squires did fine, I suppose. Though if there was any other like anti-infantry or good fighter unit like White Lions or Swordmasters, then those foot squires would have gotten obliterated. Yeah, well played to both players. Luscious Lover takes the win. Hot Fire Potato does have a lobby up already, so I'm just going to join that one. Need a spec slot first. Here we go. All right. So we do have the grand finals for the this weekly new player tournament from RTK on the Conquest mode. Oh yeah, finale time. And we do have Luscious Lover and Hot Fiery Potato. From what I understand, Luscious Lover is pretty new. I don't know how new they. Yeah, they're relatively new. They joined on 15th, so they didn't even know what the fruit roll caps were. So pretty good job to them. Well played. Good job, everybody who played today, and I'm sure you all did well. Hope you guys have enjoyed your matches. Despite losing or winning, you enjoying them is what matters the most. And one day you will also be in the finals here. Or not. Up to you. To me, I don't really care to win that badly, but I do like to win a little bit. Just gotta hope that you don't get matched up against the Empire. Unless you're playing Empire yourself, I guess, which in that case, not so bad. But we definitely did not see the High Elves, the Destined High Elves versus the Empire again. So now Bretonia is going to give it a shot against the Empire, see if they can pull it out. And I too believe in the Bretonians. If anybody can do it, the Bretonians can. Especially the man himself, King Lewin. King Lewin is here up against the Emperor Karl Franz. Did Karl Franz bring another steam tank from his armory? Yes, he did. The College of Engineers decided that he was the only one that's worth lending a steam tank to, and he's trying to make use of it again. All right, into the grand finals, we do have King Lewin on Beaquist. I think Beaquist is the name, right? Yeah. I don't remember. I may be confusing it with the other epigraph from Albiarch. But the Lion Shield, Sword of Corone, and his Blessed Son of Bretonia and all that stuff like that. He's a pretty good fighter there. He can beat down on Carl as long as Carl doesn't have his buffs, and even then, it would be a pretty even fight. Well, King Lewin does have his healing as well, so with him being a Grell Knight and whatnot. But hopefully, King Lewin can find the opportune target, which is the steam tank, up in good time before it does too much damage. Peasant bowmen in the back line, a whole bunch of those. We have foot squires once again, pretty awesome from freaking Luscious Lover to bring the foot squires not once but twice, especially against the Empire of all factions. That is a choice to bring them against a gunpowder faction like the Empire, who's just known to run over everything you have with steam tanks and cannons. But you know. We also have Royal Pegasus Knights up in the air with some questing knights on the right hand flank and the defenders of Fleur de Lis, Knights Errants are on the left hand flank. Very interesting army. We also have a Grey Reliquary as well, and Damsel of Life with, is that Dwellers? Yes, that is Dwellers with Earthblood and Regrowth too. For the other army, we do have Carl Franz on his Griffin on Deathclaw, excuse me, with Stand Your Ground, yeah, all his items. So he should be able to fight pretty good with Lewin. State troops for the infantry, no surprise there. Handgunners, and then some more Empire Knights, 3 of those in total. Got some halberds as well. And then a stank. That damsel though. Steam tank firing into the defenders of the Fleur de Lis. And they're getting a pretty nasty shot there already, taking out 6 freaking models off those guys. That's nuts. And to be fair, it was a side shot, so definitely more destined to hit more than one target in a row. That cannon shot not hitting, if at all. So, you know, not getting, things aren't going too terribly for the Bretonian side. Cav fight should go okay. The issue is that questing knights really aren't that much in favor right now. In Warhammer 3 in general, they were pretty good in Warhammer 2, but in 3 just kind of dropped off. But we'll see how they do against the Empire Knights. Theoretically, they should beat them with the massive amount of AP they have. The issue is they didn't get the charge off, and now Carl Franz is coming over to help, and that's looking pretty bad for the questing knights. If he actually lands down to attack, which I'm not sure if he will. A bit of lag here and there. Royal Pegasus Knights coming over. They're going to be able to support King Lewin. And archers continue firing into the swordsmen. Considering the lag, I might have to step out just to see if it gets better for these two. And cast a replay after instead, because if you're a finalist player and you're playing your match live, it really sucks to have the entire game laggy. I also could continue just lagging without me in the game, but Bowman's continuing to fire in at the Jade Wizard. Not really an opportune target. Not going to do much damage, especially considering they can barely freaking hit the guy. Empire Knights coming over to get a flanking charge there on the Empire Knights and finish them off, hopefully. At least one will think. But it might take a while. Our friends does have a brutal fight here with Lewin, and he's not looking too great. Not looking fantastic at all. Our friends being hit by that Sword of Corona, bringing his armor down and his melee defense down to 20. So King Lewin's gonna be hitting a lot of shots. We have a regrowth coming in on Carl Franz plus a Dwellers, but the Dwellers pretty much missing a lot of its targets as a lot of them have made their way out already or are already dead. Spearmen and halberds and all that fighting. We do have over here on the middle engagement. Point is being close to being captured by the Bretonian side. Damsel holding it down like the queen, like the damsel she is. I was gonna say queen, but yeah, that would be heresy. That would be heretical. Peasant bowman. Right now, just being disrupted and bothered by this dastardly steam tank. Who's not running through them apparently. Okay, there we go. Finally running through them, slowly pushing them off. Yeah, there we go. I am king here. Yes, you are, King Lewin. Yes, you are. But are you the emperor here? No. That's Carl Franz. Carl Franz wins this any day. You do have the Jade Wizard just disrupting the Peasant Bowman, which is, again, I said it earlier, but that's a big common tactic for new players who don't know. Just sending one of your SEs, like your foot SEs or Lord SEs, just into the fight, into like an archer unit or gunpowder unit, whatever range unit, to stop them from shooting. As long as they have, like Boner versus Large, don't send them in. Otherwise, I mean, foot lords can be fine, foot heroes, but anything on the mount, etc., will have a hard time if they have any Boner versus Large protection. Yeah, typically when their armies spread out like this, not spread out, but being utilized in other fashions, like these Pegasus Knights and King Lewin being off over there, makes it really, really tough to protect your archers. But I guess to be fair, your peasant bowmen aren't like super important, but they definitely are needed. King Lewin going in for another fight with Carl. Carl this time has his sword, has his buff for stand your ground. Does he have Gall Morales and all that right now though? Will he be able to use it? The Riking Room thing? I'm not sure. But this is certainly a fight. Our friends, more like Carl has no friends. That's not nice. I need you to take that back right now, or I'm reporting you to the local witch hunter. Speaking of regrowths, goes down on Carl Franz. It's going to be healing him up and make that fight a lot more deadlier. But we do have the Royal Pegasus Knights coming over to support their king. If they surround Carl Franz with the help of King Lewin, that could turn things around. That could result in Carl Franz being killed. But we'll see. Issue is that there's probably plenty of healing to be done, not only from his own passive healing, but from his caster as well. Actually, what am I talking about? Carl Franz doesn't have any passive healing. That makes him up with Lewin. But Carl Franz start trying to retreat, or rather go after King Lewin instead of the Pegasus Knights. And now he is taking that fight. Line Shield pop to give him that missile resistance and spell resistance, which is going to help a lot with the fact that he is being shot in the back at the moment by his own units, I believe. Empire Knights hanging idly by. Big old blob fight here, just doing absolutely nothing. You have, what is this? Sword of Corona popped to reduce Carl Franz's melee defense back down to 19, but he does have his buff popped. He's at the 80 melee attack at the moment, up to 663 weapon strength thanks to that Gall Morales. Jesus, look at that. Would make him a pretty beefy fighter, but he is surrounded by Royal Pegasus Knights and fighting King Louis at the moment, who is a monster in himself. So definitely got to retreat, Carl. Get those handgunners up and shooting again. Start firing down on King Louis and save good old Emperor Karl Franz. But King Louis and his goon squad seem to be making their way over and just give the handgunners a warning, per se. King Louis does jump down. Who's he going to go after? Is he going to go after the steam tank? It does seem like it. Steam tank, what am I talking about? I'm okay. I guess I must really be tired. The steam tank's over here. But yeah, King Louis battling it out with Carl, and Carl falls here. This is... I mean, what else? I guess the steam tank, but King Louis and the Royal Pegasus Knights could shut down the steam tank by just themselves. But we do have a bunch of Empire Knights. I don't know. Karl Franz has taken quite a bit of a beating at the moment. Got to 1980, 1883. His hill cap is getting dangerously close, and he's not going to help much more after that. Excuse me. I don't know if you guys heard that. Sorry about that. Karl Franz does get another regrowth, but that's going to probably be his last one, as the Royal Pegasus Knights need to continue to fight with him. And the Jade Wizard might end up getting sniped out here, despite Karl Franz being around. Karl Franz does turn around and get on top of King Louis. We do have the Jade Warrior with the Royal Pegasus Knights coming back. Things are going back and forth between both of these lords. And I'm not sure who's going to win there. Point 1 does end up getting taken back by the Empire, though. And points, yeah, 145 to 104. It's nothing too shabby. King Louis was close to wavering, but leadership bouncing back up to 26 at the moment. Or was 33. Probably got shot by a cannon from the steam tank. You have some foot squires coming back, and a whole bunch of Empire State troops, or some Empire State troops. And yeah, Empire does end up taking the win there, surprisingly, as Karl Franz will not have his reign contested. Yeah, that's what I thought. Karl does have friends. Plenty of friends. His friends, one being the Jade Wizard, who kept him healed up, of course, and all his lovely state troops, who he definitely knows the names of and definitely aren't a sacrifice for him. No, Karl Franz is not that tyrannical. That's definitely Louis. Louis uses his peasants like cannon fodder and just throws them to the wolves. And he paid for it. King Louis, you're no king. 2100 value on him. He tried to fight Karl with the aid of the Royal Pegasus Knights, but the Pegasus Knights took so much damage in general from not only halberds and handgunners, etc. At the end point, it didn't really matter. I think keeping King Louis on Karl Franz instead of taking him out of that fight and sending him towards the Jadecaster was probably the wrong choice. Sending him after that Jadecaster, because at that point, Karl Franz, even if he got more healing, he's already so close to his hill cap that it didn't really matter. But value-wise, let's look here. Nothing to write home about. I think Louis probably made up just the majority of that value, 2100. 674 here on the Questy Knights, and 1800 essentially on the Royal Pegasus Knight. They did pretty solid. I like them a lot more than the base Pegasus Knight variant. Base Pegasus Knight just kind of blows, to be honest. $29.46 here on Karl. He held up the state troops for the Empire. As much as I hate for Britannia had to face the wrath of Steam Tank, they faced it, and it did extremely well at doing so. 1726, 1050, 1270. It's really surprised that the Britannia player, I mean, I guess they are new, just like majority of these players here, but Knights of the Realm would be a nice aid in dealing with that cav menace from the Empire Knights. But Carl and his friends do take the win over Britannia. Empire unstoppable with that dreaded steam tank. Well played to everybody. Good job, guys. You guys stuck it in there and stuck it. Jesus Christ. Stuck through it. Let me go to the replays real quick. Let me make sure I have all the replays. Okay, I'm downloading a few. All right, I have a few that we can watch in a bit. But considering I'm like practically falling asleep, let me go to the restroom real quick. We'll be right back and go over some of the replays. If anybody you have any replays in particular you'd like to be looked at, you know, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, I will just go as I see fit. Yeah, I'll be right back. Alrighty, I do. Finally got some coffee and well needed restroom break. Alright, let's go over some replays. We definitely do not want more Empire. But for Grey Cannons, what is going on here? I do not abide by this. But in return, I mean, we have 2 freaking bolt throwers, so. Hey, Shiryuki. How are you doing? You didn't play today, did you, Shiryuki? Because I didn't see a single one of your replays, and I expected you to be all over the place. First one up, Nardu versus Fallen Star. Nardu the Undroppable. Nardu said that this replay was a close one, but that he also hates Tzeentch, so they want everybody to know that. Never tell Nardu that you enjoy Tzeentch. Alright. Grinskin wise, we do have Skarsnik. He's pretty popular nowadays, which I'm really glad that he's really popular nowadays because I always thought he was very cool, very fun. He just didn't have that, like, he didn't get that light of the day, but Rampage is really good. So, Fermented Fungi is fantastic. He's a solid duelist, 48, 55, 410, and he's a solid leadership for a Greenskin Lord. We also have Spider the Bad Moon and Get Back Here. Spider the Bad Moon also one of the great reasons to pick him, giving bonus versus large to any like squigs, etc. Orc units, goblin units, etc. It can, can make those units trade up well into large targets. Orc boys for the front line with a bunch of squig herds, squig eds, and some savage orc arrow boys. And we also have the Rusty Arrows. They have that Armor Sundering and decent melee stats, I guess, for an archery now with poison. Talking about decent melee stats, 34. And then you have Pitiful 10 on the Savage Arrow Boys. Yeah, they have pretty decent AP on their missiles of 6, while regular... let's see, do we have any, for example? No, we don't. But the rest of the arrows you can see with a Goblin unit only having 1 on their AP for their missile. It's pretty substantial. Yeah, they can hold themselves in melee and have some pretty good missiles. Otherwise, for the rest of the army, you have Savage Orcs as well. Savage Orc Biggins to be exact, as they do have that bonus versus large and pretty beefy melee stats of 46 weapon strength. Looks that frenzy. Plus Fizz Res, of course, for being Savage Orcs. Orc Warrior Biggins in the on the right and left hand flanks, and for the caster we do have a Night Goblin Shaman with Curse of the Bad Moon, Gorkle Fix It, and Madcap Mushrooms. Okay, I was talking to JP recently about the Curse of the Bad Moon, and okay, the contact effect is nice, but I mean, so 22 melee. I'm gonna go back here. 24 melee defense. 25% speed and armor, so sort of similar to Blinded. Blinded is still definitely better, and you can get blinded a lot easier, right? Like with Burning Head, etc. And still do damage with a set spell. Curse of the Bad Moon does an atrocious amount of damage in terms of like it does none. It has 0 freaking AP, so it doesn't, especially nothing to anything with armor. And it moves all over the place. It's horrendous, but it looks incredibly cool. JP disagrees and thinks it has some use. It theoretically, I guess, has some use if you put it down on like a cav unit or whatever, and like a really important fight. You don't expect it to do damage, but you wouldn't pay that 11 cost for that debuff, which I suppose is okay. If you hit them with the 25% speed from the nasty curse and Gork will fix it, I suppose you could catch something out. But I think it's pretty bad for 11 WOM. But some people, I guess JP, and I'm sure some others might disagree, and Nardu definitely probably sees some use out of it, so they're trying it out, or they're using it. But for the rest, Marauders, Forsaken, and some Blue Horrors as well for the missiles. Also Chaos Warriors with Halberds and Pink Horrors as well. For the Air Force units, we do have Knights Immolation, Doom Knights ROR. They do have those nasty Searing, Searing Torment Bombardment, which is pretty nice. And pretty good melee stats. Chaos Lord of Tzeentch. That anti-large duelist, he is on his disc, and he is a harassment piece, a very annoying harassment piece. He also has his little AoE Sentient Storm Cloud, which occasionally procs. It's okay, mid at best. Change or Die and Colossal Strike for those, for the word save and weapon strength increases plus ITP. And Chaos Sorcerer Caster of Tzeentch with final hit mutation is Golokkatam. Just trying to cheese stuff out with this Golokkatam and mutation combo. It's not as nasty as it was before. It's still pretty nasty. I'm doing better. I've been sick all week, and no, I did not play today. I am a WoW player as well, so I kind of forgot the tournament was today. Was playing WoW all day. I see. I don't blame you. I mean, the break was probably well needed as well. And you've been playing back to back, so I hope you're feeling better. Thanks for coming to hang out. But it is definitely not a new player tournament without you. Feels weird not to see you in there. I mean, you did get a win last time as well for anime, if I recall correctly. So you know, you definitely need that break. Tormented Fun Guy, going to be forcing these Knights Immolation to stay in combat while they be shot at by the rusty arrows and whatnot. But unfortunately, they are back up in the air most likely after finishing off the probably begin. So unfortunately, that trade went a lot better for them. You have the Curse of the Bad Moon going down, hitting those blue horrors, and you know, getting in there. Not giving them that accuracy effect that the blinded does, but it is reducing their speed down to 29 and giving them 0 melee defense. So, you know, it's not too shabby, helping out a little bit, doing some damage. These two harassment pieces here come over and join into the fight with the Forsaken and the Orc boys and start finishing off pieces here and there, trying to aid in that infantry engagement. Get rid of squig herds, etc. Speaking of getting rid of squig herds, the Pink Horrors are getting some nice fire into those squig herds, who definitely need to turn around and get into that back line. Orc boys are doing that job, however, as well. We have the Wa popped, increasing the melee stats of the Orc boys and all of that. Up to 52 melee attack right now with 51 weapon strength, including bonuses large from both the Wa and from the Spider of the Bad Moon. Spider of the Bad Moon is just about to go away though. But that was pretty nice. Never seen Orc boys so beefy. The other Knights Immolation dropping down, getting on top of those Savage Arrow boys and the rusty arrows, who do need to turn around and start shooting as soon as possible. Finishing off those Knights Immolation will open up a can of worms for Greenskins to take. They can turn this around if they shut those guys down, as that'll be the only other harassment piece that they can use to shut down the arrows, I guess, aside from the Lord and Caster. Which they're pretty good at doing that, but if you just guard mode and force to shoot, they'll try to ignore that SEs. But Starsnake is getting in there, trying to fight. And he is a pretty good fighter in this situation. Does have the opponent versus large to deal with those discs, because they are large targets on those discs. You can see that by just hovering over here. Another spot of the Bad Moon ripping through those Marauders, doing okay work, sending them back to those Zinchian gates. But Scarstick is now underprotected, getting hit by that final transmutation, overcasted, and the Skull of Catan, and that's so dirty. Oh my god, Scarbrand is practically dead here. I think he is not long for this world any longer. I just contradicted myself. Yeah, he has no support there, and it was quite unfortunate for him. He just got soloed out, and he's now dead. Night Simulation is going to be riding off here soon. Did you see what I'm talking about here? You can guard mode and force him to continue shooting, and that's exactly what they're doing at the moment. But yeah, Night Simulation sticking around for so long. 0 leadership. Go away already. Up to 15. Back up to 15 for some reason. What is happening? Karsnik still lives. He's holding on for his dear life. Him and Gobla. But nothing is coming to support him. Though we do have some Savage Orc Boy Biggins coming over. Can they get him out of the situation? They do have bonus versus large. Nope. Scarsnake does unfortunately fall there. Now leadership is going to start being a real issue for the Grinskians. I can see Orc Boys immediately route off thanks to that. Minus 16. These Savage Orc Biggins holding off these halberds and doing some pretty good damage into them. Doing some nice work up to 830 value. And now they're going to get surrounded by the Squig Herd as well. Though they did turn around and charge the Squig Herd, not only giving themselves that leadership bonus from charging a 15, but also making sure that they get some damage off in return to the Squig Herds. But they do end up routing. Yeah, whenever your unit is looking like it's going to possibly route from a rear charge or something, you can have them turn around and charge after those guys. Charge after them because it'll give the charge leadership bonus as well. Curse of the Bad Moon might have been probably just a misclick there, unfortunately. But yeah, pretty much does nothing there. Sadly, it might even do some friendly fire damage to these Savage Orc Biggins. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, it does do a bit of friendly fire there. Doesn't provide that nasty debuff at the very least. But balance power looking okay. Looks more so in favor of the Zinchian side. Tickets cap point is in Nardu's favor, however, and up to 255 tickets. We have another final transmutation hitting the Savage Orc Airboys. The Zinchian player does know that the Savage Orc Airboys are one of the best units that the Greenskins have right now on the field that is going to put out consistent damage. Night Goblin Shaman is probably going to get sniped out in here. We'll see though. The thing with Footcasters is that they're constantly getting knocked down by attacks, which pretty much negates any damage they're about to take. Ooh, nasty third tier army ability from Zinch hitting the Rusty Errors and the Savage Orc Airboys. Doing some pretty solid damage. Not incredible amounts of damage as they were fairly spaced out. But does decent work nonetheless. Night Goblin Shaman is now being cornered, hit by both, actually hit by one. Either way, he couldn't be knocked down while the two were surrounding him, so it is now finally routing. Chaos Lord is being shot, but he's a very small target. All those missiles aren't really doing a whole lot. They have some Savage Orc Biggins that can now come back now that they've been freed up. Inkor is still shooting, and Pluer is coming back as well to shoot. If this Night Goblin is able to come back, and he does, he can start casting spells again and aid out in this fight. But yeah, I'm pretty sure the Greenskin player should theoretically win this. I say theoretically because sometimes Zinch can pull something out of their back pocket and turn things around. Rest of the Batman going through the Chaos Warriors of Zinch. Not doing a whole lot of damage considering it has 0 AP. But it still does some damage and provides them with that debuff, reducing their speed down to 21. Yeah. Gives the arrows time to shoot. Pink Horror is shooting into the Orc Boys and doing some pretty good damage there. Their shield not mitigating a whole lot. Yes, Warriors of Zinch do get on top of the Orc Boys and We'll probably finish them off thanks to the help of the pink horse as well. So it was looking pretty decent for the greenskins. It's looking pretty bad for them now. Zinch always pulls something out of their back pocket, like I say. And yeah, you can see that now. Gonna speed things up a bit as things start to recoup, but yeah, I think that's gonna probably be about the end for the greenskins. Good fight though, really good scrap. Well played there by both players. Solid attempt by Nardu. Zinch is tough match for the greenskins. Yeah, very, very close on ticket. If Scarsnake didn't get sniped out there, I think things could have been a lot different. Oh, really? I didn't notice that. Dang. Can't believe I missed that. Imagine if Greenskins had won that on the tickets. Frick, I can't believe I missed that. I was just like so focused. I kind of figured that they was already over at that point. Yeah, Scarsnake just got sniped out, unfortunately. It was just tough. Being left alone like that, no support. 1230, 1341. 982, 964. Savage Core Airboys did fantastic. 457. 1462 on the Rusty Earth, shooting at the Knights of Immolation and the Lord and SE caster. That was pretty solid. The Lord got 1145 and 1339. Again, yeah, that even despite after its nerf, it's still a pretty good combo, pretty nasty combo. Full Katama and Final Transmutation. Despite the beating that the Knights of Immolation took, they still output quite a bit of work at 1311. 1044 on these pink warriors. Nice. Can't believe I missed that 15 seconds. If I was Nardu at that point, or rather, I should say, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense that Nardu would say that he hates Zinch after that. I mean, he always hated Zinch, or they always hated Zinch, but even more so after that, reiterating that point. Oh, I forgot to save this one. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. Thought I saved one. Forgot to save one. It was Greenskin versus Dawi. Watch some more Greenskin action. Get to the rest of Nardu's replays. He said it was a pretty good match here. And I'd expect Dawi, just like the other two matches that Nardu had to unfortunately face, or other two factions Nardu unfortunately had to face, would be just as equally terrible for them. But we do have Grimgor here, and maybe he can put a stop to the Dawi. That's more Australian than greenskin. But I guess Australians can be greenskins if they want. If anybody in the world can be greenskins, it's the Aussies. Bloodforged armor, Kitsnick, and you're next. For the rest, Night Goblin Shaman with the same spells and you get. Rest will be Goblins, Sword and Board. Little funny little fellas with their hats and their little shanks. And some Savage Orc Biggins. Plus Squig Herd, and the rest of the errors and more Savage Arrow Boys. We have only thing different is we have more Savage Oak Boar Boys. Well, we have Savage Oak Boar Boys, not just regular big guns. First of all, they have AP and decent melee stats. 36, 20. 20 is pretty bad melee defense, but 36 is decent for Cav. And pretty nice charge bonus, 62. But they also have 25% Fizz Res, which is pretty nice. Obviously, against the Dawi, we don't have a lot of magical attacks. But yeah, other than that, we have a Doom Diver Catapult, which can be pretty good at targeting, I don't know, gyrocopters, other artillery pieces, even shoot at ranged infantry units as well, including Iron Drakes. But for the Dawi, we do have Belegar Ironhammer with Revenge Incarnate, Mighty Oathstone, and Rally, plus his hammer, giving him weapon strength and stuff like that increases. Dwarf Warriors, some Doom Seekers as well, double Rangers, and Miners of Blasting Charges, double Bolter, which is pretty nasty. Slayers and the Grim Delvers Thunderers ROR, that Blunderbuss Shotgun Dawi unit, ROR variant. They have ITP, and I think it's from the Frenzy actually. I think they just have better stats. I can't remember what else they have. I think they have Vanguard too, which is pretty nice. But we also have 2 Gyrocopters with Brimstone guns, which is pretty good against the Greenskin side, as they, have no very poor leadership. But yeah, no runes of any stretch. What are the bolters shooting at right now? Right now they're shooting at squig herds and absolutely annihilating them. One is shooting at them and the other one is shooting at, I think, the rest of the Savage Orc Boys? Savage Orc Arrow Boys? They're probably focusing them in on the Boar Boys instead. Or just continue shooting up at the squig herds. Oh no. Are the Grim Delvers going to get caught out here? I hope not, because if they do get caught out here, that's going to be very, very bad. The Slayers aren't even anywhere near to support. I mean, they are in a sense, but... No, yeah, the Squig Herd are going to go after and finish off the Miners instead. What's a Doom Diver Catapult shooting at right now? Right now, they're shooting at the crew of the Bolters, which is okay, not too bad. Not too bad of an option. As you can see, they already shut down one model. But the Rangers do... the Savage Boar Boys do get into the cookie jar and get on top of the Rangers, plus the surrounding Dwarf Warriors. But these Savage Boar Boys are being absolutely roasted. Those pigs are being served up on a spit, thanks to those gyrocopters. Already up to 32 kills so far, or 7 kills, excuse me, up to 302 value. Grim Devils get a nasty freaking volley there on those squig herds. Oh my god, they got practically deleted. Jeez, and they're gonna get finished off there most likely. But I'll turn them around and start shooting at that, the freaking Savage Boar Boy cav in your back line. There. Prioritize. Don't shoot the goblins, they're wasted ammo. No, they're just getting knocked over. It's a waste. That's also a big issue with blunderbusses in general, guys. Is that, like, a lot of the times they just knock over units and they don't get shot. They don't take any actual damage, which is very unfortunate and very annoying. Belegar's getting in there. He's fighting with Grimgor, and that's probably the biggest mistake he can make, because he is a decent fighter, but he is no Grimgor fighter. Grimgor will absolutely take Belegar and chop him in half like he's butter. Gyrocopter shooting in, roasting those rusty arrows and finishing those guys off. Team over here, the gyrocopters start roasting the Savage Arrow Boys, who continue trying to fire back. But unfortunately they're going to be routed off. You have some spell being cast here. Gork will fix it, slowing everything down. Belegar is not getting away. He's down to 18 speed, and Grimgor is probably going to finish him off here. As there's no getting away from that. I don't know why Grimgor is getting away from those Slayers. It's not like they can do much damage to them with their pitiful AP. Well, they actually have pretty good AP. 16. I thought they had pitiful AP, but no, the 16 is pretty good, actually. So yeah, I guess I can see Grimgor getting away from them. But I really thought the Slayers had really bad AP, but no, 16 is not bad at all. But the Savage Core boys do get into that back line there and start shutting down those Rangers, but the Rangers are relatively hard to shut down. I mean, they have 40 armor, 1826 melee defense. Not easy. It's not definitely not easy. Savage Orcs and Goblins get into the fight there and start tearing apart the Dwarves. Balance of power is looking pretty good for the Greenskins here. 800 to 400 troops left, and it seems like Belagar might just fall here. We'll see. As he's once again fighting Grimgor. I am once again asking for your support. Bloodforge armor popped, bringing him up to 150 armor. Get a nice chopper in there into Belagar, and I definitely think Belagar is probably going to fall here in the next hit or two. One down to 189 HP, and he's going to continue fighting. Nope, he's going to dip out of there. But can he get out of there in time? Down to 116. I think he's going to get out of there. I don't think Grimgor can. Grimgor, does he have the mass? Does he have the mass to push those Slayers? And Belagar is just walking idly by, like, yeah, I'll make my way home. I'm just going to go for a stroll back home, guys. Not going to try to run at all. No emergency at all. And, yeah, he gets capped for it. Big old chop to the head. And, yeah, Belagar's dead. Dowie run for their lives. Back to the mines. Back to the hills. It's over for them. We're at a whopping 1981 on him. Nice. Savage Orc 4 Biggins. God damn it. 1137, 1246. Everything else did fine. Let me see, 465. Yeah, 1220 on this one. That's probably one that got into his Rangers. 695 here on the Doom Diver. 48. 1175, 839, 1160. Anything else did fine. The double bolters was a heavy investment. Definitely, that's why you just want to go with one, as two is way too much. But not bad in this matchup. You can shoot at giants. You can shoot at a number of things. Trolls, if those are brought, squig herds. Yeah, just two is too much of an investment. Hey, how's the diver catapult do? 695? Yeah, not too bad. They're just probably just shooting at bolters and whatnot. Already seen this one. Fabrosi versus Rankathe. We finally see some more Fabrosi vampire counts action. Let's see how it goes. Alright. For the Vampire Coast, we do have a Vampire Fleet Admiral with Crab Summon, Tide Call, and Black Parafet. For the rest of the army, Sirens, with gunnery mobs, a whole bunch of gunnery mobs, no surprise there, including the double handgunners, one being the black spot ROR, and then some pole arms and deckhand mobs. Funny little formation we got here. The rest of the army, mortars with depth guard and the Lamprey's Revenge. You can't go into Vampire's Ghost matchup without bringing these guys. They're just fantastic. Double Scurvy Dog on the left hand flank, including Mongols. Just did a single unit of Mongols. Am I missing another? Seems like not. Okay. And then we also have some deck guard, as I said. For the Conquest side, we do have a Shugen Blooded Lord with Ancestral Warriors, Blossom Wind, and Arcane Conduit plus Jade Amulet. Nice. For the rest of the army, Peasant Long Spearmen with Jade Warriors, also some Jade Warriors with Halberds, and Jade Warrior Crossbowmen in the center with some Peasant Archers. The Jade War Drum, the ROR Zanghu War Drum, does have the Fury of the Falling Blade. So it gives magical attacks and fear to any allies within range, which is pretty nice. And overall just has better stats. Righteous Lances of Wei Jin are brought in once again, and to see if they can do anything this time, or rather do more this time. Fire Rain Rocket as well, can't go without a Fire Rain Rocket. And then we have Onyx Crowman and Jade Lancers on the right hand flank with more Jade Cannon. Alright. I don't know where I was looking at over there. What the heck? My camera just like... I don't know, I just phased out for a moment there. Onyx Crowman. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're not as good as they initially were whenever the Shadow Change released. But they have magical attacks and solid melee stats 30, 32, and 45. But yes, Peasant Horsemen as well to get into that back line. Speed things up a little bit. Fire Rain Rocket gonna be perfect in this matchup. Gonna start shooting in at the handgunners, which is a decent target if they can actually hit anything. War Drum already under fire, however, as it's being hit by the what is it being hit by actually? Oh, the Carronades? Oh yeah. But they're not going to switch targets over to the Fine Rain Rocket. Shutting that down could be pretty, it's obviously a pretty solid choice. You don't want those guys, you don't want that shooting at your depth guard and your handgunners. But you could also send these Scurvy Dogs around and get on top of them. Issue with that is the Righteous Lances are nearby, watching for just that. Deckhand mobs taking some fire from the archers of the Krankathean side, but you know, it'll be a while before it actually amounts to anything. Some Mongols making their way over, trying to get a flanking charge on them. We have the Carronades now obstructed and in combat thanks to the Peasant Horsemen, who have got on both the Carronades and are partially involved in the fight with the Lamprey's Revenge too. But yeah, the Carronades got shut down immediately thanks to the Onyx Crowman. Oh my god, that was insane. Thanks to the Onyx Crowman and the Peasant Horsemen, who did end up running away. Yeah, as you can see, Scurvy Dogs got sent over to the Firing Rocket, and they did shut it down, but in return, they died to the Righteous Lances. At this point, I brute force path them to the Fine Rain Rockets, trying to kill off more crew models. Depth guards are making their way right through the center, and this is going to be a beautiful work for them, just chopping through Jade Warriors, who do have pretty solid armor at 70, but it matters not to the depth guard. Ancestral Warriors got summoned in to try to help out any fights nearby, most likely the Rotting Prometheans, I suppose. But Dragon Bloom's Sugar Lord, what's she doing at the moment? Nothing at the moment quite yet. Fury of the Falling Blade popped, giving things magical attacks and whatnot. That Blossom is coming in, but it's going to miss the depth guard as they just narrowly dodge it. But they do get hit by that blinded effect, which is pretty nice. Bring them down to 36-12 for the latest stats, but it only lasts for a short bit, so gotta really time it. They do get into the cookie jar once again and get on top of the Jade Warriors, who have more crabs summoned in that can get on top of the range units of the Grand Cathay side. Sirens trying to find a home at the moment. Definitely need to probably go around and get on top of the Jade Warriors, but actually no, terrible idea. Fury, the Falling Blade, is going to be giving everything magical attacks, which, you know, pretty terrible for the Sirens. Speaking of Sirens, they are at the moment stabbing and yeah, just freaking shanking the Righteous Lances and doing some pretty solid work into them. Do the Righteous Lances, they have fire? No, they don't. They don't have magic attacks. That's what I meant to say. The Vampire Fleet Admiral being chased down by the Dragonblood Shooting Lord, but would she lose in a fight? No, yeah, the Dragonblood Lord should lose that fight. I would turn the pirate captain around and fight the freaking caster. At that point, it's definitely worth it. Crabs disintegrate. You have the war drum still beating. Sirens get charged by Jade Lancers, but the Jade Lancers can put some solid work back into them as well. Handgunners once again shooting, this time at the Jade Warriors, it seems. Yeah. So overall, right now, it's looking pretty good for the Vampire Coast side. They pretty much have this battlefield under control, aside from the Righteous Lances, and even then, they could deal with those guys. They're not so impactful on the field that they matter that much. Black Spot take a hit from that wind spell, which gives them that blinded effect, so it makes their accuracy pretty poor. But again, it only lasts for a short amount of time, so not really worth it. Ancestral Warriors pushing into that backline, but eventually they will disintegrate after 22 seconds. So they're just going to be annoying for now and going to stop your units from shooting. Tide Call coming in there, hitting the Jade Warriors plus, yeah, Halberds plus the Jade Warriors, doing some solid work, even despite the fact that they have relatively high armor. Crossbowmen continuing to shoot in on the deckhand mobs. The point is taken by Grand Cathay at the moment. That does not mean that the Vampire Coast player cannot take it back here in a bit. It's just the cap weight is higher for the Grand Cathay inside because they're not expendable. Another Blossom coming down here, going to get through that pole arm there, doing some solid work, and into the halberds as well. Plus their own Jade Warriors a bit, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? Fire and Rain Rocket trying to make their way back, but you have to deal with the Sirens and the pole arms first. Actually, the Fire and Rockets over here, I think all the crew is all the actual cannons are destroyed, unfortunately, so they're just being sent into melee. Emperor's Revenge probably need to deal with the Righteous Lances, but they are being shot, so. And now they're charging the Black Spot, which they have that anti-large, so going to be looking pretty bad for them. Probably going to speed things up here, as I do think the Vampire Coast has it. We have another Blossom hitting those Black Spot, which is doing some pretty decent work. How much WOM did that cast? Does that cost? 5? 9 for that. Yeah, no, definitely not worth it. Definitely not worth it at all, unless you throw it on some like really elite infantry. But then again, like, yeah, it's 100% AP, so yeah, definitely worth it. Let's go to the Vampire Coast. Really good job by Fabrici. Let's look at the values here. 1382 there. Sirens did all right. One of them was holding back the righteous lances for so long. They were kind of more like a holding point, I suppose. Considering that those righteous lances that weren't anywhere near the drum weren't getting magical attacks, so they were not doing much damage to the sirens that entire time, which is pretty nice. It goes this one actually. They are wrecked by H. How many high elf players were there? I think there was Cuban who played high elves, and let me see. Yeah, Hasty playing high elves, and I think Cuban, yeah, two HE. That's tough. That really sucks having to go against double freaking high elves back to back after facing uh while playing Vampire Coast, excuse me. Because because against Vampire Coast really struggle against like mass archer spam. I mean, I guess you can rush with crabs, but even then, like you have to big investment, especially considering the I don't know. I think that probably is the play there. Mortars could do okay there, but I don't know. I think probably the best bet is to crab rush. But I mean, I can't really call it much of a rush when your infantry is like 20 something speed, but still. Handgunners 1135. 755 on the depth guard, 1346 on the Shugen Lord. I think this is pretty substantial. But yeah, the Jade War Drum was pretty cool there. I like that. The ROR. Is that the only one you posted that I missed the other ones? Let me check real quick. I think I missed one. Yeah, I missed this one from Random Cuban. Yeah, okay, I missed them. Yeah, I see them now. I thought I had a low amount of replays. The spears don't really matter, honestly, because the spears have relatively low AP, and the crabs have incredible amounts of armor and they're very durable. The issue, I guess, is the sisters for sure, because they do have that AP to get through that armor. That's why you have like crab summons and um, just regular zombie summons as well to help deal with the backline of the high elves. But yeah, it's definitely a tough fight. Wait, casted this one, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Okay, here we go. Wait, did I cast this one? I feel like I cast this one earlier, didn't I? Because I remember the triple Phoenix Guard. And the Sword Masters, yes. Okay, I remembered. Yeah, I did. Okay. Wow, today is just a fever dream, isn't it? Yeah, the triple Phoenix Guard was a wild card there. That was pretty nice. Phoenix Guard would definitely drag down crabs, and Sword Masters will tear apart Depth Guard. But how often do you see Sword Masters? And how often do you see triple Phoenix Guard? Again, that's why I say wild card. Might be worth trying to bring bombers. Bombers I think are pretty worth it. You just gotta keep them a little bit out of, keep them from getting nuked by archers. I mean, like, which at the end of the day doesn't really matter because you can have like multiple of them. It's not like you can, like, they're super expensive. But while they're focusing, like, say, while they're focusing their archer fire on, say, they have to focus either on the mortars or the bombers. If they decide to focus on the bombers, then mortars can get shots in. If they focus on the mortars, that's kind of better for you. The bombers can get their volleys into spearmen and other units that they can target. Can't believe I forgot that I casted that. That's funny. This is one I haven't casted yet, yeah. Oh, look at that. You brought the Rotting Leviathan. Hell yeah. I gotta cast this. I freaking love the Rotting Leviathan. Four murders may be a little too much. Probably like 2 or 3. Yeah, something like that. Lots of dogs, crab summon, mortars, and whatnot. Yeah, this is not a great map for the Vampire Coast in this matchup for sure. If anything, I probably would have. I think probably your best bet is to just like move your entire box formation to the left, I suppose. But you know, you have this little. Yeah, it's just like these freaking trees. They just benefit nothing but archers. Quite unfortunate. Yeah, quite unfortunate map. I definitely think this map screwed you quite a bit. But Empire Fleet Admiral with pistols. Got Invocation and Drowned Dead and Black Parapet. With the rest of the army being Deckhand Mobs, Depth Guard, with some bombers as well. We also have the more gunnery mob in the back line with more Depth Guard. So triple freaking Depth Guard. Mongol Haunter, who does have his potion of strength, plus a freaking Rotting Leviathan. I really love this build he brought here. This is pretty cool. I like it a lot. The Rotting Leviathan is definitely one of my favorite like single entity monsters. I love these guys. They're so cool. But yeah, some scurvy dogs as well. Other than that, that's it. High Elf player is bringing an Archmage of Life, double freaking dragon, She's on her dragon with regrowth, and that is it. A star dragon as well. Star dragon and moon dragon. That's pretty deadly. A whole bunch of spearmen, some archers as well. Staunch line of archers with war lions plus more archers in the back line. Jeez, that's so many archers. Land Reavers and a whole bunch of Land Reavers. With some white lions as well to help deal with any depth guard. I guess this would maybe be the perfect map to just bombard with mortars. If you knew what this map was like, maybe this would be the perfect map for mortars.
We must return order to the world.
Keep things up a bit. Scurvy dogs need to be... Oh, no, they were not careful, and they unfortunately got caught out by the Land Reavers. Yeah, unfortunate big mistake there, because then you lose your entire mobility if you lose even one of these Scurvy dogs. Though we do have the Rotting Leviathan coming in. And he might, snack on a few high elves and their horses. I love that there's freaking zombies hanging out on the backside there. Just taking some shots. And yeah, Rotting Leviathan is doing some pretty solid work. Not only that, it does terror. It has 150 armor, missiles on its side, and immune to flanking, which is pretty fantastic. I love the Rotting Leviathan. Takes a breath attack though. Ugh, nasty breath attack from the Star Dragon. Yikes. Our hunter needs to get out of there. Rotting Leviathan is now possibly going to be stuck in spears and the Land Reavers. Unsupported, unfortunately. Definitely needs some support because it cannot be left here alone. 150 armor is pretty nice and it's pretty good stats, but it cannot fight all this alone by itself. Yeah, contradict yourself. Archmage might get a breath attack here, presumably. Or no, she's gonna jump in there. I think she probably already got a breath attack. Yeah, she jumps in there. It's some nasty damage in there, and unfortunately, again, the depth guard are now left alone. Bombers do more damage to their, do some pretty good damage to the spearmen. They have a deckhand mob summoned in on top of those archers. One girl hunter has unfortunately been surrounded by the Land Reavers, who are now being stabbed at by the deckhand mobs. Does the hunter have enough mass? If it did have enough mass, it could probably pull through this, but I don't think so. I don't think it does. Yeah, it's just stuck here. Not even attacking even. Just like stuck trying to move or something. Invitation going down on Death Guard definitely needed it, as they can revive models, of course. The gunnery mobs now being unfortunately targeted by the Archmage, which is fine. It's not too big of a deal. Rotting Leviathan did, survive pretty handily thanks to the help of the Depth Guard. Nice. That's a pretty good win there. Obviously, the Land Reavers are still have plenty of life left to give, but a solid win not letting the Leviathan get caught out there. And it can't get healed though, unfortunately. It's not undead or anything. But still. Breath attack coming in there and hitting the gunnery mob. Pretty meh at best. Pretty waste of a breath attack if I'm being quite honest. Hunter has just been stuck this entire game so far and hasn't amounted to much, unfortunately. I'm guessing you were trying to move it. Fabriosi, because it just kept looking like he was trying to move the entire time. And I think it was better just to leave him in combat at that point, because there was nothing he could do. And at least he would give him some movement whenever he's like doing his attack animations. Rotting Leviathan continuing to push in, going in through those crabs, and getting on top of the archers. Good job. Really good job there, Fabriosi. You just got to be careful here, as he's now alone once again with the Archmage and being shot by all the arrows. At the same time, it is distracting that Lord. Well, you could probably try to solo snipe out the Star Dragon, but you don't have anything else really with the mass. You don't have any crabs or any sorts. I think the Hunter is probably a bad choice because of how easily it can be body blocked by cheap cab like Alien Reavers. If you had like some extra crabs here, you could block up the Star Dragon and possibly kill it. Got a little bit of a kaiju fight here with the Leviathan and the Dragon. Pincers going in. Snippety snab. Whackety whack. Twack. With those big old crab claws. And now the, unfortunately the Admiral is being sniped out, and that is probably it for the rest of the fight. Even though the Leviathan still has much left to give, not having the caster there was quite unfortunate. I don't know why the Leviathan was just like stuck there. It was like contemplating life. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Oh, was this the right choice? Why am I here? Breath attack going down on the depth card, and that was a gnarly breath attack. Oh my god, that was absolutely brutal. But plenty of room left to heal if it wasn't for the fact that the Admiral just got completely killed. And yeah, now the leadership starts crumbling and army losses kicks in. Quite unfortunate there indeed, for sure. Yeah, the dogs being shut down fairly early was pretty tough. But they were going to have trouble either way due to the amount of mobility that the High Elf brought, which was 3 Lyran Reavers, and then of course the dragons. So the dragons can't be everywhere. You just gotta worry about the Lyran Reavers, and I think just gotta maneuver the Gurry dogs around, get them on top of the archers and whatnot. And if they do get a hit on you with the Lyran Reavers, summon a zombie summon right behind them or right on top of them, so they can't move as easily out of the fight. But yeah, I think that was just a really poor map for you, unfortunately. I did like the running Leviathan a lot in that fight. I think it did wonderful, even sticking around to the end. But unfortunately, it was not enough. 1331 though on it. It was pretty nice. I love the rolling Leviathan. I cannot state that enough. I've done double crab builds, which what's her name's on a crab plus a rolling Leviathan as well, and I've had some pretty decent success with it. I like it a lot. 615, 708. I just wish it could be healed by the healing caster. By vacation. We have the depth card do 822, 708, 615. Not too shabby despite taking 2 bad breath attacks. 1326, 712, 767. Yeah, did fine. Not too bad. Might also be worth bringing Tide Call. I'm not sure. It's hard to decide. I would say it might be worth bringing Tide Call against the Archer lines for the High Elves. But some would say that the Zombie Summon's better. Probably the Zombie Summon is better. But you do two cheap spells, Tide Call and that. Alright, I still have a few replays to go over, but might do those with videos or some sort, as I'm pretty beat. I'm pretty tired. I did not sleep well last night, so it was wonderful casting you guys' games. It was really fun, and I always love casting for you guys. Thank you for hopping in, and hope you guys had a good time in the tournament. It does not matter if you guys lost any sorts. Do not worry about that, as long as you had fun. And if you want to keep getting good, or keep getting better, then keep coming to these tournaments, keep practicing, just enjoying yourself. Thanks for hanging out, Five Mercy. Pretty cool. Seeing your games again. Keep grinding out Vampire Coast. If you ever want some games as well, anybody can hit me up as well. I don't play that much anymore because I play a lot of other things. But it's fun playing games with viewers, and it's fun playing games in general. So, and it could be nice theorycraft and stuff. Yeah. Try to help faction mains out. But thank you guys once again for joining and watching. Hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. And I'll see you guys next week for the other one. Bye-bye.